just jump into it and start?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
I'm here.
You are here. Guys, if you don't know Awkward Monsters is a wife, a gamer. I've seen you do all sorts of things like crafting and stuff. You have kitties. You're all around a wonderful streamer as well, I should also say.
You're very
Um,
sweet.
did I miss anything?
I recently became a dog mom as of like 2 weeks ago.
So
Also,
you
so
have
we now have a
dogs
cat and a
and
dog.
cats? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
What
my
made you
husband
want to get
doesn't
a
know
dog?
yet.
That was one of my main questions. Is first off, thank you for tuning in and joining me on Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving. I'm Canadian, so
Yes.
it's a regular day.
hmm
I was
hmm
very curious. How do you not have family stuff going on? Like, as I recall, your husband's in the military, and I feel like he's probably
Yes.
deployed if you are free.
Correct. Yeah. My husband's in the military. He is deployed right now. We moved to where I am. I'm in California. I don't mind saying that. We
Okay.
moved to California within a couple months of us living here. He got deployed. And so I don't really know anyone here except a couple of streamers and my coworkers now. But so I don't have like family or anyone that I've known like in person for a long time. So I'm just playing video games and hanging out on Thanksgiving instead.
I'm super jealous because I know of I know several streamers here in Calgary, where I'm at, and I'm not gonna say I don't want to hang out with them. It's just more of like there's no streamer unity out here, and I feel like there's a lot more out
Mhm.
down that way.
Yeah, funny enough, I actually have a couple of Juice Bar members who live pretty close to me. But I just haven't gotten the opportunity to like hang out with them recently. And obviously I'm not gonna be like, hey, what are you doing on Thanksgiving? Because that's just like a little too much. But yeah, so I'm excited though. It's nice to be in this space because I feel like I'm closer to all the action.
You're not wrong. There's a lot of action that I've seen. That said, I watch Twitch Twitter, and there's a lot of Twitch drama happening in California these days.
Honestly, I wouldn't know anything about it. I forgot my login to my Twitter, so I haven't used it in many months.
I don't
Many,
blame
many
you.
months.
I put up a poll on Twitter the other day, and I got like 4 people who voted on it. Sure, I'll take a little bit of accountability. I've let my Twitter fall off, but it was it's not as active as it ever was, and so I had a
Yeah.
little bit of a trouble going and digging through for your social media links to put them on the screen. But what social medias do you use?
I use my Instagram, my YouTube, my Twitch, and I post TikToks, but I don't scroll on TikTok very often. I've realized that scrolling on Instagram is way better for my mental health than scrolling on TikTok because TikTok, like, I get real sad after a while, and then it just keeps feeding me the sad TikToks, and I'm like,
I
I can't
I
do
wouldn't
this.
know. I'm banned from Instagram. I'm banned from all of Meta. So I don't know what the feeds are like. I assume it's like TikTok or YouTube Shorts that you just swipe and you get
It's the
videos.
same thing, yeah. It's the same thing.
Okay, and you swipe on TikTok because it doesn't give you sad things.
I just Instagram gives me less sad things than TikTok does. TikTok will be like, "Oh, you liked this sad Disney post from Up? Let me just feed you every sad clip from every movie that exists." And then I'm like, "Hold on. This is
Yeah,
not what I signed up for."
that's fair. I do my scrolling on YouTube because that's basically the
hmm
only social media aside from Twitch that I use these days because I hate I hate almost every form of social media.
Honestly, I feel that. I really do.
But as a streamer, you have to use it. So I have
hmm
I literally just have Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. I refuse to get a TikTok because not because China bad or TikTok bad. I just don't like social
hmm
media, and I'm banned from everything on Meta. So what else is left for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's fair.
But as a streamer, I see you use a lot more social media than me. What do you feel is like the best social media for a streamer?
I don't feel like I have um I feel like I don't have a good answer for this because I honestly don't know. Because everything, the amount of views that you get on everything is so random. largest following is technically on TikTok, but I don't get hardly, well, not like including my Twitch. Like outside of Twitch, my largest following I believe is my TikTok. But I feel like my YouTube has more content and has more views, like, 1,000 views on a short, but then most TikToks are like 300. So I feel like it's kind of random as to which one works better for every person. And it depends on the content that you're putting out too, because every algorithm wants to push different things to people. So it's all about like the tags that you use and all this other stuff that goes into this big pile of crap.
Yeah,
I don't understand any of it. I just post and hope for the best.
fair enough. I feel like you moved what, like 6 months ago?
So I moved, well, it's officially been a year
A
since I
year, okay.
moved, but I didn't get my computer back up and running until like January or so, like full time. So
Okay,
it's
because
been
I have
a hot
not been
minute.
able to watch much of your streams. You're a daytime streamer, guys. If that matters, I think it's like 8 a.m. Is that PST or
Yeah,
EST? Okay.
PST, yeah.
All I know is it's
I
during the
used to be
workday,
EST. Yeah, it's during the workday.
and I can't watch streams during the workday because Canadian data is stupid and work doesn't let me use the Wi-Fi, so I don't get to catch many of your streams. I used to when COVID was around and I could work from home, or
Hmm.
whenever I'm sick, I can stop by. But I haven't been sick since 2023. That's a weird way to say that. Everybody says 2023. But yeah, I have not been sick in a while, so I have not been able to catch your
But
stream.
that's a
Can you
good thing.
catch me up? What are you doing?
That's a good thing.
What are you playing these days?
Well, right now, as of the last week and a half, I've been in the chokehold of Palia. It's kind of like a cozy version of an MMO.
Yep.
And I can't stop playing it. That's kind of where I'm
Why?
at right now. I it's so random. So I got into this lull of just nothing sounded good to play. And what I started doing is I started doing achievement hunting. So I did achievement hunting on Grounded. I'm still working on it. I'm almost done with it. Peak and Water Park Simulator, and those were really good. It was scratching the brain right for a while. And then I just kind of lost interest in everything. And my friend was like, "Oh, look how cute my house is." And I was like, "Oh my God, there's frogs." So I downloaded it since it was free, started playing it, and then I just couldn't stop because it's basically just Stardew Valley, which is probably my favorite game of all time. And now I'm just stuck there. I can't. I've put in over 130 hours since last Saturday.
Oh, since last Saturday. I was gonna be like
Yeah.
130 hours. That's nothing. I played that much in Elden Ring.
Since
uh,
last Saturday, 130 hours.
I don't know how people get so addicted to that game. There's no combat, so I'm just curious what makes it fun.
It's so strange because for me personally, it's because it's kind of like there's a bunch of different games within one game because there's a lot of mini games for the different activities that you can do. So like there's bug catching, there's fishing, there's cooking, there's mining, there's hunting, but all of the different things, there's like different mechanics. So the cooking, you have to actually like interact with the cooking while you cook. The bug catching is just very fun because I love bugs and weird little dudes. And the hunting is just, I don't know, it's a good money maker, but I can literally just walk around and resource farm like as if I'm in RuneScape for hours and hours and hours and just
Is
do
there at
nothing
least a
but the same
museum to
thing.
donate these resources to, or what happens with these resources?
Yes. Yes, there is multiple. So there's a whole storyline. There's a lot of side quests. There's characters that you can romance, characters that help you get more recipes for cooking. It's like a JRPG mixed with an MMO, mixed with just very cozy vibes. And I it's so funny because there's so many similarities to this game and Disney Dreamlight Valley, but I cannot play Disney Dreamlight Valley. I played it one time and never touched it ever again. I
I
don't
played
understand why this one
way too
has me in a
much
chokehold.
Disney Dreamlight Valley. My problem with Disney Dreamlight Valley is I did all the content. I blazed through, and they started punishing people that did the game like I did, where I did all the content and then I'd go resource farming to make stuff, but they
Mhm.
time gated things that I absolutely thought did not need to be time gated. Like plant a
Yeah.
seed, wait 24 hours for it to get watered, and then water it, and then wait 24 more hours until it grows. And you're just like, everything else grows
Yeah.
in a matter of minutes. Why are you gatekeeping me of sitting here for a day to progress the
Yeah.
story? I hate that.
That's
There's no reason. It's
crazy.
a single player game, and sure, there's a battle pass, but like, there's no reason to gate or time keep a progress on a story.
Mhm.
Aside from you can't make more story, but from my perspective, you're not really giving me story that I care about. It's more the knickknacks that you can collect and make your house look
Mhm.
pretty and make the friendship. The story is
There's
great.
so
Give me
many
an update.
collectibles in Palia. Yeah.
Is it not Palia?
So I actually had someone look this up for me. It is Palia, not Palia. According to what the person Googled for me, it's supposedly Palia.
Did you pay them
So
off to Google and give you your
nope, they Googled it while
pronunciation?
I was playing the game, and I said, "All right, sounds good." First person to tell me what it is, that's what it is in my brain now.
Okay, so you've been playing Palia
You can say
for
Palia, it doesn't
forever.
matter to me.
I It doesn't matter. Anyways,
It doesn't matter.
Palia for several
Tomato,
hours a
tomato.
day. 100
Yes.
hours is 5 days. Saturday was 5 days ago. Do you just not close the game? You can't be playing it
No,
24
the
hours.
Saturday before, so like a week and a half. So like,
Okay.
yeah.
So
So like,
12 hours a day.
yeah.
Are you streaming all those hours, or are you playing it off stream too?
Both. I'm playing it both. I play it in the morning. I get off stream. I go to work. I come home and I do a little bit of resource farming, check on my ranch and my farm, and then I go to bed. And then I wake up in the morning and then I play all day, and then I just
I'm
can't stop.
I'm no better. I play idle on basically 24 hours a day because I have it open in the background. When I go to bed, it's
Hmm.
grinding. It's an idle game though, so it's a bit different. I think Palia has no idleness. I don't know if you have crops and stuff in it that you have to wait for.
I mean, we do. There are crops, and you do have to wait for them, but it's only an in-game day for it to like progress in the next grow stage. And based on the plant, it takes like a couple of palea days to grow, which is not that long in like IRL time. But I have a idle game that I've had up in the background recently, just like for myself. That's called Chillquarium, and it's literally just little pixel fish that just swim in a little fish tank, and
There's been a
they
lot
make
of those
money
that
at
came out
secret,
recently. There's a
and
fish
I bought
aquarium.
multiple of them.
Multiple of the fish games, or multiple fish in the game?
I've purchased multiple separate games that are the same idle style of game
Huh.
because it just makes my brain happy.
To be fair, I can understand the idle game, mostly because I'm too old to have time to put into playing a video game. So a game that plays itself, and I come in and I check in and do a little micromanaging and come back later. Oh, it's so good
Hmm.
for an old man like me.
Not an old man, but I
I
understand.
have
I understand
white
the sentiment
grays in my
regardless.
goatee. I'm so old.
You're
Uh
not old.
my Twitch account is from 2011. That's how old I am.
You're not old.
How did you find out about Twitch?
I've always played video games. And I watched Twitch pretty regularly before I actually started streaming on Twitch. I never thought that I could just like start. And then it was middle of COVID, not really middle, it was pretty beginning of COVID. I got furloughed from my job as a pastry chef. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I just play some video games? And since I'm playing video games, why don't I just try to do that Twitch thing and hope for the best? And here I am 5 years later.
Would you say you're doing good? I obviously during COVID it was the boon days, especially with Stream Raiders and all that. Streaming was great. I feel like
Hmm.
streaming is kind of dropped off on my perspective. I don't know about what you see from your side.
Hmm. I would say that streaming is still pretty good for me. I feel like I've got a pretty regular group of people that come and hang out. It's definitely different than what it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, but I still get the same joy out of it that I did then because it gives me a way to be able to connect with people. I love entertainment and entertaining people, and I like to consider myself to be a little bit funny, so it gives me a space to be able to do those kinds of things. So,
Yeah.
you know,
See, I always find I don't find myself to be funny. Everybody else says, "Oh, Zam, you're hilarious," and I go, but I'm not."
you're hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But you're
I am
on the
one of
other
those
side.
people.
You
Yeah.
think that you're hilarious.
Well, I'm the funniest person that I know. But I think other people can still be funny. I think you're hilarious, but I'm the funniest person I know.
That's definitely fair. But I wouldn't know, how do you measure how funny someone is?
I don't. I just, you know what? You're funny. Like, if you say funny things, you're funny to me, you know? But it's just the meme of saying that I'm the funniest person I know that I really like, honestly. Because people are like, people have one of two reactions typically. It's, yeah, well, you must not know very many people. And I'm like, ha, 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 you're so funny. Or it's like, yeah, you are the funniest person, you know? And I'm like, thanks, man, you know? So it's just a silly little thing that I do.
I'm
There's
glad
no
to be in the
purpose to
third
it.
camp. That's like, but why? Why do you think that?
That's fair.
Not that you don't know very many people. We obviously clearly know that you have a husband, you know at least two people in California. Like, that's three people. You know a lot of people.
I know a
I
lot of
feel
people.
like in today's society it's so hard to know a lot of people. And that's kind of why I started this whole
Yeah.
podcast, is to get to know the people online, because all we do is talk in chats. You're never really talking in voice calls unless it's like you're on
Hmm.
a team or something. It's so hard to actually get to know people.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Well, either way, I'll get to know you a little bit more with this whole conversation. So you joined back during COVID.
Yes, yeah.
I thought you joined before that, like at least I want to say 2019. Because
Nope, just after 2019. It was like the beginning. I technically first started streaming before I got affiliate, early 2020. Um, that's when I started actually streaming, but I had been around in the Twitch space for, I want to say, probably close to 9 or 10 years now, I think.
okay,
I'd have to check and see what my account
but
age
how
is.
did
I
you
don't know off
find
the
out
top of
that
my
Twitch
head.
was even a thing?
Just people around me. I've always been into video games and things, and so I just kind of,
Okay,
I don't know like what, I don't think there was a
not a
like,
specific friend that said, "Hey, yo, check out this Twitch."
yeah, I don't think there was a specific thing that happened. I've always been relatively chronically online, whether it's like YouTube and things like that, and then from YouTube, like a lot of people are like, "Oh, come watch my Twitch stream." And so I think I just kind of learned about it over time. I don't have a specific event in my mind that I can think of that was like, "Hey, have you heard of Twitch before?" If that makes sense. But I've been in the internet space for many, many years of my life.
So let me ask you another question about streaming, which was Stream Raiders. Obviously, you and I have that in common.
Yeah.
Stream
Hmm.
Raiders started dying off in like 2020, and that's when you
Yeah.
started streaming.
Yep. Yep. I feel like when I kind of figured that we'd talk about this at some point. So when I joined Stream Raiders, I actually joined because a friend of mine whose Twitch name is now Shads, um, they had actually been playing it, and I was like, oh, that's really cute. Like, I want to try doing that. Like, why not? And so I gave it a try. Things were going really well, and I really enjoyed it for about 2 years. And then very quickly, I got like into the actual depths of the space and not just like a surface level person playing the game. And very quickly, everything went downhill very fast and everything kind of just imploded.
Yeah, I
It was
mean,
pretty wild.
I tell this story often because there's a very big lesson to be learned by Captain TV, and unfortunately, they made a gap in the market that, frankly, I don't see anybody filling. I saw that a bunch of people were trying to make like clones of Stream Raiders, but I haven't seen any
Hmm.
success from those yet.
I heard about them when they started, but I haven't heard anything about them recently since then. But it's also just not something that I'm really interested in anymore, you know?
Why not?
I liked Stream Raiders for what it was, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know, a TV show was really great and I really enjoyed it, but if somebody else reboots it, it's not the same. I'm not going to have that same joy that I had, that same like first starting out. It's just not always going to be the, what I want to do. And so I didn't even look into them, but I know friends and other people on the platform who have like looked into it, but it's just not my thing anymore. I moved on from it.
That's fair. Do you do any side games on stream? Like, I don't know, Rusty's Farm, fishing games, stream avatars, anything like that?
Not regularly. Sometimes if I'm doing like an art stream, I'll throw like stream avatars up there just so that they have something to look at along the bottom, or like maybe the fishing game if I like go on a BRB for a hot minute to like make some food or something, then I'll throw up fishing game or something, but it's not like a main content piece like it used to be. So, you
That's
know.
fair. I
Mhm.
personally love Stream Raiders. I think that it had a great time. I'm
Mhm.
disappointed on how
Absolutely.
it ended and a lot of the decisions they made.
I
Um,
agree.
I gotta say, I don't miss running it. I will say that the game lasted far longer than I thought it would. When they said, "Oh, we're not making money, we have to cancel all these other projects," I thought for sure when they said that they were going to be done within the year, and they made it 2 years after that. That was remarkable.
Yeah. I also thought that things were going to stop a lot sooner than they did, which was very surprising. But I mean, I guess good on them for keeping it going, but I don't know. I
I
feel like it did a
guess
little more hurt than it did help for keeping going.
I don't know. I feel like it gave a lot of the community a lot of hopium that was undeserved, but it also brought the community a lot closer together. I wonder how people that kept playing until the end are doing these days for streaming. I've never really
Hmm.
looked at that side because I know there was a diehard crew that was like, hashtag Stream Raiders will never die. And I was on team,
Yeah.
it's already dead.
Hmm. I will say some people that I know that were in the Stream Raiders community that played for like up until the last day, a lot of them have moved on to Marbles on stream.
Okay.
I've mostly primarily seen that as like what they do on the side, or they were already doing Marbles on stream
Yep.
before it ended, and so now that's just the only side thing that they have. I've seen a couple of people switch to another idle game that I can't remember what the name of it is. I've seen some people do like Bongo Cat. It's like a clicking thing, but if you have an auto clicker, it just auto clicks and your Bongo Cat does. I don't know. I don't fully know, but I believe that marbles is the main change that most of them have gone to, from what I've seen at least.
Okay. I wouldn't know because I don't watch marbles. I see the
I
appeal
don't
of
watch
marbles,
marbles
but
anymore.
I go crazy watching it where it's like I need to do something else with my life and not just sit here and watch marbles.
Yeah, I attempted to play marbles. This was before Stream Raiders ended and everything, but I had attempted to stream marbles because I got really hooked on it for a hot minute for like a couple of months, and I played it as a main game. And then I had two game screens up, so I had marbles running, and then I was playing a totally different game for myself on the side.
Ah,
So I had both of those up on stream because I was like, marbles for me is just not enough for my own brain to be entertained. So I had to have something else going at the same time. And it was okay for a while, but eventually it was just kind of like, you know what? Most of these people, not all of them, but like most of these people are just here to do exclamation point play. I'm not really getting what I want out of this, which is like, community and conversation and be able to entertain people and stuff like that. And so it's been kind of, I eventually moved away from it. But for a moment there, I was trying to see how it would go, and it just wasn't my thing. And now I
so
don't watch it.
that's fair. I'm very curious. What is your thing?
That's a great question. And I wish that I had an answer for you, but I don't even know yet. And I've been streaming for 5 years. I don't know what my thing is, you
Okay.
know?
Well, I know you're all about monsters. You draw your own emotes. You call your community the monsters. How
Hmm.
how did you come around with all that?
Well, when when I was doing things on the internet and playing video games, honestly, it was my Xbox gamer tag originally was Shadow Day, and then I changed it to Little Miss Awkward because I got tired of being called a little boy, and then I got really tired of people harassing me saying that I was, a lot of terrible women things. And then eventually I was like, okay, I need a different name that's just, I still want awkward in the name, but I want it to be different. I don't want it to be like, hey, I am a woman, please harass me, because that's apparently how people took it back in the day on Xbox when you're playing Call of Duty. And so I changed it to Awkward Monsters because I was like, oh, well, I like ghosts and like vampires and like, werewolves and things, not Twilight, but my brain thought was like, dinosaurs, and so I was like awkward dinosaurs, awkward ghosts, and I was like, no, none of these really make sense, and I was like, well, they're all kind of monsters, so I just merged it together and made it Awkward Monsters, and then I was like, well, I need to make little dudes to be my monsters, and then it all just kind of fell together over the years and have progressed and expanded over the time as well.
So how do you decide like what kind of dudes to make and everything?
I just do it. So I do have a whole my just chatting screen that I don't use a ton actually is the monsters den, and it's like a little cave, and there's a bunch of monsters on that screen, and they're all monsters that are based off of viewers that have redeemed a channel point to be made into a monster. So I have a ton of monsters that are viewers, other streamers. I've got a couple that I've drawn about characters from video games. Like I have a handful from Hades 2 that I drew as little monster boyos. A couple from Valorant that I've drawn as little monster boyos, and that's what I call them. I call them monster boyos. I don't know. It's just what I've always referred to them as, and it's just kind of stuck. But
Okay, fair enough. So you've had significant success, I'd say, on making those because I mean, I even remember them. They stuck with me. I know that you use some of them as skins and stream raiders and emotes and everything, and they're very unique. Are you
thank
still
you.
doing those?
Yep, I still am doing them. I'm in a little bit of a writer's block, but like the artist version of a writer's block where I haven't really felt very creative lately, which happens with everyone in any kind of a creative space. Eventually, you hit like a lull where you're like, I just need something to get that spark going again, and that's kind of where I am right now. But we are still doing them, just slowly but surely. I get them done.
Okay, fair enough. So with those, have you used any of them for like merchandise or for any sort of commercial purposes? Like, can you sell your chat their own monster?
So I have monsters that are like my logos monsters because my
Yep.
logo at one point did have all the monsters in it. Now I have a much simpler much hello words a much more simplified version of a logo now. So I have like those generic monsters which I do use on a couple of merch products. People's monster boyos that I make for them, I I haven't like so it's kind of complicated. So for the most part, you can get them with a channel point redemption. I did at one point when I was doing a lot of commissions, I did put that you could buy a Monster Boyo for like, I think it was like $5 or something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head. And they could just buy a Monster Boyo and they can use it for whatever they want. Once I send it to them, it's theirs. They can do whatever they want with it. I know a handful of friends of mine who use theirs as merch and emotes and things like that. I don't typically charge people for them. Just if they want them, I will send it to them, and whatever they do with it, they do with it. That's fine because I'm just here for the art and for the people,
And
It's
you
a good
make them
time for
in
me.
paint, right?
No, well, yes and no. I make them in Clip Studio Paint. But not
Okay.
Microsoft Paint.
Microsoft Paint went downhill after like Windows 7. I'm not gonna lie. When they made the brush no longer automatically being like pixels, I got very upset
hmm
at it.
That's valid.
I definitely know that. So fair enough. The other part of your name I wanted to bully, and I guess it's not really bully. It's more of a good intro to another conversation. Is
hmm
awkward. What is the
Yes.
most awkward thing you've ever done on stream?
I recently dressed up as a ranch bottle.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry.
Um,
A bottle of ranch? Pants, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Much appreciated, my guy. Hey, you actually got
Mhm.
one.
Let's go. Let's go, pants.
But you dressed up like a bottle of ranch. Was it for
Yeah.
Halloween?
No. So I told people that I know from like work that I dressed up as a ranch bottle for Halloween, but I actually dressed up as a ranch bottle in September for my 5-year anniversary stream. We made it ranch themed for the celebration. So I got ranch flavored Cheez-Its, I got ranch flavored cotton candy, I got ranch flavored mac and cheese. I was dressed as ranch, my t-shirt was ranch, all of my alerts I changed to ranch themed. Just ranch.
Is now a good time to tell you that I don't like ranch?
It's perfectly okay to not like ranch. I understand. But I will say
I
one of
don't
my
like
best
mayo either.
accomplishments. My friend from Australia was here and they stayed at my house for a couple of days for TwitchCon and they tried ranch for the first time ever and they're like, "You know what? This actually is pretty good." They're like, "I thought it was going to be really bad, but I actually really like this." And I was like, "You're welcome. You came to the right house because I am the ranch. I'm the ranch lady." Nailed it.
Why do they call you the ranch lady?
Nobody calls me the ranch lady. I have just now called myself the ranch lady. I just talk about ranch a lot and I express my love for ranch very often. So
What's the best thing to put ranch on, in your opinion? Don't say chicken
a
wings.
lot of
That ruins
a
chicken
lot of
wings.
people get no, yeah, a lot of well, I mean, I don't eat chicken wings because I don't like chicken off the bone. But so I'll say my top two things that I like ranch on that people get very upset about instead, because I feel like that's very funny. I love putting ranch on hot dogs. People get very upset about that. And I love putting ranch on tacos. Now, hear me out before you say anything. Imagine a taco, right? A hard shell taco.
Yep.
A lot of people
Yeah,
put
it's there.
sour cream on
I
tacos.
don't. I'm lactose intolerant, but okay, go on.
Well, yes, but that's why I said a lot, not all of them. But a lot of people put sour cream on tacos. And if you think about it, what is ranch but just another cream-based sauce with more flavor? You know? So it does work if you think of it that way, like a cream and a cream. Same but different. What is the difference between like a crema and a ranch? Just a couple of seasoning differences. But for the most part, they're pretty similar.
Okay, well, I feel like you just ruined tacos forever, and I already had hot dogs ruined for me because I used
Hmm.
to eat them. I ate them straight from a pack once when I was a kid, and I've not been able to eat
Oh no.
them again.
Hmm.
So I'm not a big
That's
fan
rough.
of ranch or hot dogs. So you're not nailing it here, but like I now have to ask why you don't like chicken on the bone.
It just weirds me out. That's literally all it is. I'm a big texture person and I don't like having to eat it off the bone. It freaks me out.
So you don't eat fried chicken?
Nope. Nope. I eat chicken tenders like a child.
Do you eat anything on the bone? Like if there's a bone in your steak, would you eat that?
I mean, I would cut around the bone and just eat the steak without the bone there.
Okay. So absolutely no bones in your food at all.
Correct.
Okay. Now I
I have
can't
a lot of
make boner
texture
jokes.
problems. I mean,
Uh,
you can, just the lack thereof boners, you know?
that's fair. I don't understand the texture because I've never stopped and thought, what is the texture of a bone in
Well,
my mouth?
I think it's mostly because when I was very young, I had two very specific things that ruined a lot of meat things for me. I one time went to Long John Silver's, which is like a seafood restaurant, and it was like a really not good
Okay.
cheap seafood place, right? It's like the McDonald's of seafood. And I got chicken tenders because they had chicken tenders on the kids menu. I was a child. And so I was eating my chicken tenders and
Yeah.
all of the breading came off and I saw these lines and I screamed because they gave me fish instead of chicken, but I didn't realize it. But seeing the meat and what it looked like scared me so much as a child that I screamed and threw it, and I never touched fish ever again. And I didn't go to Long John Silver's for a very long time. And then the other thing was I went to a Texas Roadhouse with my dad and my brother, and they accidentally gave me my dad's steak instead of my steak. And my dad likes it like, psh, psh, it's done, like quick flip, as bloody rare as possible. And
Yeah.
so when I cut into it, there was just red, and it freaked me out so bad I didn't eat steak for like 6 years. So
Well, chat's supporting you. They're all talking about how they don't like bones in their food, or they don't like that their food resembles animals in any way. I can see not having your food resemble animals because animals are often incredibly cute, and you don't want to eat cute things, which is
fair.
why I bet you'll probably never be cannibalized. That was a compliment. By the way, it was possibly the best
You were
compliment
saying
I've
because
ever
I was
done.
cute, so no one's gonna cannibalize me. That's why I did the
Exactly.
hands.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, yeah, I can
Thank you,
see
thank
not
you.
wanting to eat animals. I'm not against having bones in my food. I've had bad experiences with bones, like especially fish, and I'm not a big fan of fish in the first place. But
Hmm.
fish bones drive me crazy in my food, and it's not just a texture thing. It's just because they stab my mouth. I
Yeah,
like my
and
mouth
that's
unstabbed.
valid.
Fair
I
enough.
don't blame you. I also do not want my mouth to be stabbed.
I feel like that's most people. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's like bottom, like what's the word? Like the bottom line. That's like the standard. There we go. We got
Okay,
there.
standard. I was gonna go with like what is that thing you dance under? Oh my god, we both can't use words today. The
A thing
limbo
that you
pole.
dance under?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
Like you're trying to get under the bar. I get. Anyways, we're both on the
Yeah.
same page. We're both talking about poles. Um
Poles
Fair enough. I'm gonna swap the topic away from bones and meats and
and
poles
poles.
to a better topic. What do you do offline aside from play Palia?
Hmm. Well, I play a lot of video games. I play a lot of video games, and I watch a lot of videos and TV shows and things like that. But I do a lot of things on my computer. I do a lot of crafty things. I'm currently trying to figure out what kind of a crafty thing I want to start. I've been having a craving to just like do something with my hands and not do it on my computer. So I don't want to pull out my drawing tablet. I want to like actually make something and do something. But I don't know what I want to do now that I have our dog that my husband doesn't know about. I've been going on, excuse me, I've been going on walks a lot with her. That's been really nice. But I do a lot of just being on my computer, unfortunately.
Did you mention you had a job before?
Yeah, I have a job. I
Okay.
also work. Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell what you do for a job? Are you still a chef, baker, whatever?
I'm not a chef baker, whatever. I don't say exactly what I do because it's such a specific job that it would be very easy to dox my job. But basically the most like vague way that I can say it is that I do like live entertainment basically. Um, that's the best way I can put it. I'm not a stripper. A lot of people immediately think that I'm a stripper. I
I
wish
went
that I
straight
had
to
the
Chuck E.
ability to do
Cheese.
such things.
I went
I'm
straight
not
to
Chuck E.
Chuck E.
Cheese, but I
Cheese.
wish. I wish. No, yeah. I'm a live entertainer. I'm an actor of sorts, so it's
Well,
a
that
good
makes
time.
sense why you're in California then, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting over here like, wow, the military gives enough pay to support an entire family. I would have figured that it wouldn't, but I don't know American military at all. I'm Canadian.
Yeah. I mean, we so there is a thing called BAH, which is your housing allowance basically. And the housing allowance pays for like your bills for your living expenses. So your BAH will change based on what state you live in because there is completely different rental prices based on the state that you're in. Like California, you're easily looking at over $2,500 a month for rent in a lot of places. If you're in, like, let's say Indiana, it's going to be like $1,000 plus cheaper. Like it, so BAH changes based on where you're stationed at. So that pays for a lot of the like regular bills. And then I have a part time job on the side that covers all of my personal bills and like gas and things like that and helps with groceries. And then obviously I stream. So whatever that is also.
Whatever that is, it's way too much. That's a mood. Because for streaming, and as I mentioned, I feel like it's on the downside. I got banned from Stream Element, so I don't see sponsorships that much anymore. So I feel like sponsorships have all but dried up, and the revenue streams
Mhm.
are basically just your community.
Well, and a lot of I mean, from my own personal thoughts and my own personal experiences, a lot of the sponsorships that I've experienced, they really don't benefit the streamer necessarily. They're just to get more sales for them. You don't really get much out of it most of the time, I would say. And so it really is based on a lot of the community. And that's why I got a part-time job, is because I don't want to have to rely on my community, because I want to be able to know that I'm good. And then I am here for them as entertainment. I'm not here as trying to make money. Like, I am here for fun, for good vibes, good things. I'm not solely here because I'm like, God, I need a paycheck to pay my bills, you know? So I feel like it takes a lot of stress off of streaming that a lot of people who are, because I consider myself a full-time streamer because I do stream Monday through Friday, typically 8 a.m. to whatever time I get offline. It's very different every day. But I consider myself to be a full-time streamer because of the hours that I put into it. And I don't want that stress and that pressure of like financial situations to affect my streaming and my own mindset when it comes to my streams. So having this job on the side that helps me pay my bills is like the best way for me to do it. And honestly, I recommend that for everybody. I feel like everybody should have a job with a stable payment on the side no matter what, because streaming is so up and down. Content creation on the internet in general is so different from day to day, month to month, week to week, year to year. Like, I can confidently say that 3 years ago, I was making a lot more online than I do now. I make very significantly less now. And it's just too unpredictable. And having that stability is extremely important in my mind. So.
So, when would you recommend somebody to get into streaming, or do you even recommend it?
So I think that streaming is a great thing to do. I think it's great for people socially. I think it's great for someone who wants to get into entertainment or someone who wants to do something that involves a lot of talking in their day to day. But when it comes to streaming, I think that you really have to decide what you want your streaming to be. What is your intention with your stream, right? Like, are you here just because you want to stream for fun?
Yep.
Are you here because you want to get famous quick? Because I can tell you what, most of the time, that's not going to happen.
What
Um,
is the secret to getting famous quick?
who knows? I've been here for 5 years, and I'm still trying to understand what that entails.
Well, from
There
what I
is
saw on the internet, it's apparently showing your boobs and skin as a girl. That's what I've
there
heard.
there is a game to Twitch. From
That's
what I
true.
know from watching other people become partners and what they've told me and conversations that we've had, where there really is a game that you can play, but that's that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to get famous quick. You know, I'm here to provide as an entertainer to people. If I can make someone's day just like the slightest bit better, like, I'm doing my job. That's what I'm there for. And it makes my day better. And it helps my mental health to be here. And that's what my goal is. So that's what I try to do. But like, a lot of these people will start streaming, and this isn't everyone, but like, a lot of people will start streaming and they're like, oh, I'm going to start making so much money. I'm going to get so famous so quickly. I'm going to get so many people as average viewers. And it's like, there's a lot more that goes into it than just pressing the start button. Like, you're not going to get
Pushing the start
thousands of
button's the
dollars
easiest thing
and
for me.
thousands of followers like right away pressing the start button. There's a
That's
lot of
true.
things that go into it.
You're also not going to get a lot of fame for streaming for multiple years either. It's
Yeah,
not a you put time in and you get success out. That's not how this works at all.
correct.
But speaking
It's
of,
ever changing.
you said you're a full-time streamer. I'm going to challenge you. What is the last thing you did to improve your stream?
The last thing that I did to improve my stream is, actually, I've been wanting to incorporate more improv into my stream. And so I've been focusing more on my channel points to make them more interesting and more interactable for chat. And so the most recent update that I've also redone my about section recently, but my most recent thing that I've done that I think improves my stream is I've added channel points that people actually want and that they're like, oh, what does this button do? And so they try it and give it a go. So I think that's probably the most recent thing. I added a channel point that's called Some Light Reading. It has little eyes to the side because I pull up whatever I'm reading on my Kindle Unlimited and I read about a page or two of it in a funny voice or with a voice mod on. And if there's very inappropriate words because maybe it's a spicy book, then chat gets to pick the censor words. And so it's like a fun little improv kind of situation for me. That one's been really fun that we added. And we've added ones where I can change my face with like filters and things just for sillies.
So what kind of cool voices can you do?
Well, a lot of time people typically bring up the Jennifer Coolidge voice. Um, oh God, makes me want a hot dog real bad. Right? Stifler's mom from American Pie, or the hairdresser from Legally Blonde. A lot of people bring that up. It
I'm
absolutely is
bad with
smut, by the way,
actors and
Moth.
actresses in movies. I don't know who that is.
She's a blonde lady that just
Do you know
it's
how
like the
little
4th of
that narrows it down?
July.
Oh my
Listen,
god.
I've got is a voice and a look.
Is that the only
All I've
voice you
got
can
is a
do?
voice and a look. No. So I mean, I could do many of voices, but so I some other silly voices that I do is like I gotta so this is Barbara. Barbara's the character that we've made. She's been smoking for 40 years, but she's only 32. Barbara is quite the delicate little lady. She's a barista. She's a barber. She's also a bit of a bookseller. She does a little bit of cooking. She does everything. She might be part of the mafia. Who knows? Um, I've got my little Loomy voice that I do for D&D. That's the other thing. I play D&D, and so I have voices that I do for characters in D&D. Um,
Do you do it on your stream
I
or on
I
somebody
do a
else's
little bit
stream?
of a Midwestern accent. So none of my Dungeons and Dragons that I've been playing lately is on any kind of internet thing, because a lot of my games that I was in have all ended. So I've actually been looking for a new game to start, either myself or other people to join, and I just haven't quite gotten there yet. But I just do whatever feels good,
Have
just
you heard of C
everything.
plus content yet?
I have no idea what that is.
It's a group that does a lot of different Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I participated with them once when I was playing a rogue for one of their campaigns, but
Oh,
they
cool.
do all sorts of stuff. I know I was supposed to be part of a Fallout campaign that they were doing, but they do stuff like one of their main hit shows is like superheroes in high school, which is
Ugh,
weird
I
to
love
me.
that.
I consider it weird because I never want to think about superheroes in high school. I prefer my superheroes to be adults. But I guess high school's close enough. Um,
Yeah, I would prefer superheroes in college so that they're all,
exactly.
adults. Yeah.
Yeah. I would find it so hard because I'm so old to try and play a high schooler these days. I
Oh
don't
my
even know what the kids
goodness.
like. They do zins, they say weird things, they
They say
6'7", which is a
numbers
stupid meme.
constantly.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't
Oh my
I
god,
don't get
those
it.
kids they're a waste of time these days. Back in my
Those
day,
little whippersnappers,
we
nobody's
had
understanding what
great
they're
memes.
saying. We did. We did. Pen
Fair enough.
15. Anybody remember Pen 15 in the house?
Mm,
Anybody?
yeah,
Anybody?
we used to go to the Pen 15 Club or the Pen 15 Island.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
The
Mm.
game. Everybody knows the game. They just
I never
lost it.
played the
Sorry.
game. My friends did, and I was just like, this is
Mm-hmm.
the stupidest thing. Maybe I was an old man as a kid.
See, and I no longer have to be plagued with the game because I saw an old Tumblr post back in the day that said that I had officially won the game and I can never lose the game ever again. So I now have peace and tranquility whenever people try to play the game. And I'm like, sorry, I already won.
You already won. Well,
Sorry.
congratulations on winning the game.
Thank
Unlike a
you.
lot of
Thank
other
you.
people that may have just lost it.
Yes, thank you.
Interesting. So
Hmm.
about D&D, what is your favorite
Yes.
class? Why did you get into it? What draws you into it so much?
So I love make believe. I love imagination. I love like role playing type things. I love silly voices and making up characters and making backstories for them. If I knew how to write, if I had the brain to know how to write, I would, but I just am not good with words, as we've seen today. I'm not super great with my verbiage. And so D&D just kind of like has all of that into one. There's fantasy realms, there's make believe, you kind of make the story up as you go, you create these characters, they have voices and they make connections with other characters. I have played multiple classes. I don't know if I have a favorite class because I haven't played all of them yet, but I typically tend to fall into a fighter or a barbarian position because typically the people that I play with like to be the spellcasters and whatnot, and so I typically go for the, like, the
I
whack 'em
pegged
and
you as a
smack 'em up
druid, by
close
the
kind of
way.
guys. I listen, one of my favorite characters that I've played was a druid. But typically fighters, barbarians, I do like druids. Lumi, my little mushroom person, my name's Lumi. She was a druid and I absolutely adored that character. Druids are very cool, but I haven't done enough with druids to know if that would be my favorite. So I can't say there's a favorite, but I typically tend to be the punch him in the face kind of person, you know?
So you
But
mentioned
I'm not good with
basically
monks.
that's
Not good with
fair.
monks.
Monks do a lot of punching. You mentioned wanting to do your own. Do you have like a universe or anything that you already have set up for this?
I'm glad that you asked.
Oh God, this
I
sounds like a long answer.
I have had an idea for a campaign in my brain for
Mm-hmm.
so many years, and I've tried to like map it out with different templates and things, and I just haven't been able to yet. And I'm also terrified of like picking people to play in it because I don't want people to hate me if I don't pick them to play in it. But it's called the Storybook Trials. And it basically would be kind of like, have you ever seen the movie Page Master back in the day?
I don't watch a lot of movies, so no.
This is like childhood, like for
Yeah, no,
me,
I still
right?
didn't watch
Sorry,
movies
you're
as a
such an old
kid.
man, so I needed to throw that. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. I'm sorry.
It
Um,
takes a lot for me to hate people. People hate me a lot easier than I hate people.
no, you're great. People are just people. So Page Master basically is like where these kids get sucked into these books, and there's like the evil Page Master who they're like running from or whatever, right? It's been a very long time since I've seen the movie, but so similar kind of a concept where the characters in my campaign would get sucked into popular stories or Disney tales that I have changed into the D&D version of them. So like for example, um Beauty and the Beast, right? The town would be all werewolves, and the dungeon would be the Beast's home, which is actually filled with mimics because, the furniture is alive in Beauty and the Beast. So there'd be mimics all over the dungeon. The town's full of werewolves, and the Beast is actually going to be like the regular person. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Dwarves is one of the races in D&D, and so I'm going to have 7 different dwarven characters based on different, like I'm going to build, Grumpy, probably a barbarian with anger issues, right? Like I would make the 7 dwarves character sheets based on what I think their character would be in a D&D universe, and then the characters would be given a dwarven sheet based on a random roll on a d8 instead of playing their own character. They would get sucked into these alternate bodies and then have to help Snow White through something, I don't know what yet. I've also thought about, like, Aladdin, you're in the big Sphinx tiger tunnel thing, and there's a mimic carpet that tries to murder you instead of help you, like it just all kinds of things. But it would be the storybook trials. I would have different stories and things incorporated in it, and they would jump from book to book. I don't know who the big bad would be yet, but I've been thinking about this for so many years, but in my brain I can't start it because I'm not Brennan Lee Mulligan, I'm not
Mm.
Brian Murphy, I'm not Matt Mercer. I'm not any of the McElroy brothers, right? Like in my brain, because I'm not a McElroy. I'm not Brendan Lee Mulligan. I'm not all these people that I look up to as DMs. I'm like, that means I can't start it yet. I have to get to that point and then I can start it, which means I'm never going to start it because that's how my brain works with my ADHD, is that I'm never going to get there. So I'm never going to start it, which is stupid. And I should just start it, but I just don't.
Well,
And that was a very long answer.
what would you even start with to get on the way to be there, to be the DM that you think is worth it?
Well, I've started doing one shots with people. I haven't done a full campaign yet. I've only ever done one shots or like two shots where it's like 2 different days where we play. And My friends have said that I've done a pretty good job as a DM and that I've done well and that they enjoyed it, but I get in my head where I'm like, well, they're my friends. Of course they're going to say nice things. They're not going to be mean about it. But in my brain, I'm like, I can't tell if they're actually being like serious or if they're just trying to be nice to me. Like, I need someone to be brutally honest and be like, this is the things that you messed up on. These are the things that you need to improve on, etc.
It sounds
Um,
like you need a Zam because I'm incredibly brutally honest.
that's what I need. I need someone to be brutally honest with me. But so
But
I've started doing one shots and things
as you
too.
were explaining that whole setup, it really sounded like each different, I want to call them stories that they would be sucked into would be a very good one shot. That way you don't have to have everybody together unless you wanted to like make a big
Exactly.
thing at the end. But even then you can just take people from the different stories. Like say you really
Hmm.
like somebody playing Grumpy. You could bring them in the Beast or something and be like, hey, we got a mixture of all sorts of different fairy tales.
Exactly. And that's the other thing is that it's like do I keep this with like the same, 4 to 6 people who play? Do I make each storybook be a different group of people who play and like almost like their own mini campaign within this larger universe? And I just every time I think about something, I end up with more questions than answers, and then I'm like, this is too big and too fancy. I have to back off. There's too many things going on, and I'm not Brennan Lee Mulligan. I can't handle it, which is just I'm never gonna be Brennan Lee Mulligan.
Have you
He's
thought about
incredible.
opening a journal about it?
You know? I haven't, but that would probably be pretty smart.
I
I
only bring
did
this up
recently buy a journal.
because I brag about my stream book all the time. So whenever I'm
Hmm.
thinking about stream, I write my stuff into this book so that I can always go back and see what I was thinking and improve upon it.
Hmm.
And this has helped me so much with organizing ZamCons, with my stream writer skin ideas,
Hmm.
reminding me of what I want to improve for my production. I think you would highly benefit from
Yeah.
being able to even just, oh, I just thought of this one idea, ADHD, scribble it down, and then when you're going
Hmm.
back, you'll at least remember that idea. Because if you're like me, you forget it immediately, you move on to the next thought, and you're done.
Yep. In one ear, out the other, all my thoughts.
Well, that's
Hmm.
basically the life of a streamer as well. You read a chat, and then 5 seconds later, you don't even remember what you're
Someone
talking
asks a
about.
follow-up question. It's like, what was the thing that I said when you asked that?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember what I just said. It was 2 seconds ago. Yeah, it went out my mouth and I don't
It
remember what it was.
There's so much that you're doing as a streamer. The last thing you can really pay attention to is the previous conversation, which as a streamer, I know this. So every time I make a comment like that, I refer back to, so you have at least some sort of textual clue to be like, oh, by the way, it was about, I don't know, this story. Great. Fantastic. I can remember now. Thank you.
Hmm.
Debut chatters.
Yeah, honestly. You give me context in your answer, I could kiss you on the forehead. Like, hell yeah. Give me that
Okay.
context for my
I'm
brain.
going to make this very awkward now for you. My forehead goes all the way to like my shoulders. Where on my forehead would you kiss me?
Just right in the
Dead,
center,
dead center?
about an inch and a half above your eyebrows.
Straight onto the forehead. That's
Straight on,
interesting.
yeah.
Do you know how many times I get told that like if somebody were to meet me in person, they wanted to lick or touch or kiss my head? It's very
I believe
awkward.
it. I imagine that they probably say that they want to rub your head too, and you're like, please don't.
For good luck,
That's
apparently.
Yeah, that sounds like something that people would say.
You know, I was thinking that would be the kind of story that you brought up when I asked you, oh, what's the most awkward thing that you've had on your stream? Something somebody said, but
Well, I mean, if we want to talk about that, probably one of the most awkward things that someone's come in and said, I'll skip one of the ones that's a little more brutal and I'll just go with this one because it was funny. At the time, my hair was red and kind of pink, and someone came in and told me that I looked like a used tampon. And I said, I'm the sexiest used tampon you'll ever see. Bye, bitch. And I pressed the ban button. It was very fun. It was very
fair
fun for
enough.
me. I was like, goodbye.
The most
It was
awkward
crazy.
I've had is during ZamCon, I was forced to take a "How gay are you?" personality quiz as part of the redemptions, and I got 60% gay, by the way, which
I
was
love
more
that.
than all of my gay, lesbian, bi friends. They all scored lower than me, which is miraculous. I'm
Hmm.
apparently less straight than they are, but literally 2 streams after that, somebody came into chat and was like, "You're my favorite gay streamer. Thank you for streaming. You're the best." And I went, "This person, first time chatter in my stream,
Yeah.
doesn't know the history right now. That's an inside
Yeah.
joke they just made."
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, that was awkward. But they did not stick around. And I did not ban them either because, like, W chatter, thank you for telling me I'm the best.
Yeah. W chat. I love that.
So
10 out of 10.
you are on the Juice Bar, which is why obviously I asked for you to be on. I joined the Juice Bar literally last week while I had Juice
Hmm.
online, and he asked me on air to join. I have all sorts of questions. I'm going to light you up because naturally that's one of the main topics I did want to go into. Why did you join the Juice Bar?
That's very easy for me to answer. I thought you were gonna ask me something way more complicated that I wouldn't have any
Oh,
kind of a say to.
I start easy and
Um,
then I get to the harder parts, but yeah,
Perfect. We build up to it.
mm,
Absolutely.
we boil our
Um,
crab slow.
I was gonna say something crazy. I decided against it.
I
Um,
mean, we are rated M for mature. You definitely can. It does
my
go on
brain
YouTube, but I'm
immediately
not monetized, so it doesn't
my brain
matter.
immediately went to yes, the foreplay of conversation as
Yes,
um
absolutely.
so I met Juice I want to say probably over 3 years ago now, uh, due to a mutual friend who was like, "Hey, I'm watching this guy. He's so funny. He's playing Elden Ring." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I need to come see this," because he's like, "Oh, he's playing Celine Dion while he's fighting this massive boss." And so my very first impression of Juice was him playing Elden Ring. He's fighting this big boss, and there's "You're here. There's nothing I fear," like playing, blasting as he's like, "Oh," and he's fighting, and it was incredible. And I was like, this guy is the funniest person that I've ever met, besides myself, obviously. Come on now.
Wow, I'm
It's a
right
bit. I
here.
go with it now. So I was like, this guy is so fucking hilarious. And so I started watching him, and then he got rated. And when he got rated, I saw the hot tubs for the first time. And I was like, my new life goal is to get into one of these hot tubs. Like, this is incredible, and I need to be involved in this immediately. And so ever since then, I just kept watching and kept enjoying. And I had some really nice, like, deep conversations with Juice. Like, even back when he was playing Grand Theft Auto and he's like rolling around just being a goober. But him and I are just like talking about, the stresses of potential when you're a streamer, right? And like the stresses of other people having expectations for you and where you should be at in your streaming journey. And we've just had like a lot of like really good deep conversations. He's so funny, he's so talented. I love all of the things that he's done with his channel, and it's been so amazing to see the growth and the I don't want to keep saying the word changes, but like the growth and the expansion of everything that he's done. And it's just been so incredibly cool. And I really looked up to him. And he had asked me if I wanted to join the Juice Bar one day. And I was so excited and so like thrown off by it, because I was like, in my brain, like Juice is up here, and I'm like down here, right? And so him even asking me to be on Juice Bar, I was so incredibly excited because I look up to him and his content and what he does. And there's so many people that are on the Juice Bar that I've met through his community who I really appreciate them and who they are. And I've really liked their content. And like Sheepy, I absolutely adore Sheepy. And Sheepy has done a lot of like in the background things for me because, Sheepy's also a military spouse, and so I've had conversations with her about that kind of stuff, and she's tried to encourage me to do more like tarot and oracle reading on stream, which I'm so terrified to do, and I don't do it super often. But
Why?
she always encourages me because I'm just so scared of people on the internet, man. I really enjoy it. I do it a
Why?
lot. I even have a tarot tattoo on my arm. I'm even designing my own tarot card deck and my own oracle deck. My oracle deck, by the way, is hot dog themed. I know how much you absolutely love hot dogs from our earlier conversation. So I don't know. I'm just people on the internet are just scary, and I still battle with putting too much weight into the words of random strangers on the internet. Still, it's something that I'm working on, but I never want people to, like, I don't know, be sassy and judge me and shit. But at the same time, I'm like, judge me, I don't care. I dress up as a ranch bottle. But then I'm like, oh, I have to be vulnerable and, like, show you something that I'm really interested in and I really love and enjoy. Like, that's too scary, right?
The
Which now
duality
I
of a
feel like I'm in a
streamer,
therapy
literally.
session.
Every
You
streamer
know,
goes through this whole process. I don't, because
I
I have
know.
no shame, so I don't care what people think about me. I just think about,
Hmm.
are they coming back, or did I scare them away forever again? Which happens
Hmm.
more often than not.
Well, see, and like that was the crazy thing, right? Because it's, with anytime you share something that you really love and enjoy that you share with other people, like that's a scary thing, right? So like when I started doing my art on stream, I was really nervous at first and kind of worried to do it, and then it went really well, and I really enjoyed it, and it was really fun. But it was really scary at first, and so it's just another thing, just like a roller coaster, where it's scary at first, but it's gonna be worth it. But I'm still getting out of my head on it first. So Sheep has been
Okay,
very encouraging with that stuff.
that's fair. Who else have you had a really good experience with on the team so far? I literally just joined, and the first thing I did was tell everybody I'm loud and obnoxious, and then ask for people to come on the podcast.
So I would say like the people that I know the best so far. There's a lot of people in Juice Bar Bar that I don't know yet and that I haven't gotten to know super well yet. But I would say that the people that I know the most is probably like Heather Bizzo, Minty Pie, Gemini Tiger. I would say probably I already said Sheepy, Be the Chaos, Efi on Fire. Like those are all people that I know very well. I know their content pretty good. I've had
I can't help but
conversations with them
notice you
and
didn't
talked to them for
cover
a long period
anybody
of
who's
time.
bald like me or Juice.
Well, I thought Juice was a given. I
Oh,
thought Juice was
okay,
a
and
given.
I'm
I
not.
thought we were talking not you and Juice. I thought we were
Oh,
talking about
okay.
other people besides you two. So like
Okay,
those are
fair
a lot
enough.
of the people that I met at the beginning before I was part of Juice Bar Bar. Sperry Berry I've become very close with. I love that guy. He's so cool and funny. Slap My Penguin I've started to get to know more and more. He's very cool. But just like, I'm getting getting more close and learning more things about people. I love that pin. 10 out of 10. It's so good. But yeah, just slowly but surely I'm meeting more people, and so far I have not met a single person in the Juice Bar Bar that I have not enjoyed my time there or that I didn't like as a person. So that's already a win for me. But like I said, I don't know everybody yet. So slowly but surely we're meeting the people.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Why
Sure.
should somebody join the Juice Bar Bar?
So I this is my own thing, right? So when it comes to stream teams, I am not going to try to sell you on joining any stream teams because that should be totally up to you and what you want to do with your everything, right? Like I feel like every stream team has their own vibe, has their own way of recruiting people and bringing people in, and not everybody wants to be on a stream team, and that's okay. There's no bad vibes or bad blood with not wanting to join a stream team because there have been a lot of, stream teams that have had really shitty things happen. And so a lot of people are like, I don't want to be a part of a stream team. And that's perfectly valid in my mind. I see no problem with that, Like if I think protecting your peace and doing what is best for you is what matters the most. So I would never sell someone on joining a stream team unless they wanted to join a stream team and they were asking me why they should join, then sure, I'll tell them if they're interested. But if they're not interested in the first place, I'm not trying to go door to door selling vacuum cleaners.
Okay, so what was the coolest part of being on the Juice Bar Bar so far?
So far, the coolest part about being on the Juice Bar so far is how much people want to collab and actually work with you, because I have been on a handful of stream teams during my time on Twitch, and I feel like this has been the most intentional collaborations that have not been like required per
What kind of
se that have
collaborations?
happened. Well, maybe like this really cool podcast that this bald guy
I'd
runs
argue,
who's
I'd
pretty
argue this
old.
isn't even a collaboration. This is me just having a conversation with Awkward Monsters, who
But
I've known
still, but
for
still,
3 years, 5 years.
it's been, I think it's
It's
probably been about
it's
4
been
years,
so
3 or 4
long. My
years.
hairs grew and got white.
Another example, most recently, Heather and I were both on Sperry Berry's channel. We were going to play some Peak, and then we ended up reading an entire 70 plus page about a smut book that's about a door.
That sounds very Heather coded.
It's very entertaining to listen to Sperry read it.
I'm sorry. The face
Yep.
that you made when Discord dropped some frames there, that sorry. Discord
That's
froze
okay.
on the best face ever. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm a professional. I shouldn't point these things out.
No, it's okay. Please laugh at me. I prefer it, honestly. It makes me feel more comfortable here.
So
And that's not sarcasm.
it's not. I know sarcasm. I've been on the internet. I feel like a lot of people know a bit about sarcasm these days. Most people that join onto this podcast feel nervous, and I know that this was like a last minute panic to get somebody on. Did you feel nervous joining?
I feel nervous every day, constantly. I'm medicated.
So you are currently medicated to not be nervous?
I'm nervous constantly, but my medication helps with my anxiety. I was nervous. I actually messaged my friend, and this is going to be TMI, and if you want to cut this later, you can. But I messaged my friend, and I said, I'm having nervous poops. And she said, oh, no. That's real talk there. My tummy gets really upset when I'm nervous.
Nervous poops?
Yes. Because of you. It's because I know I'm going to be on a thing, and that's always nervous the first time. It happens all the time with lots of things.
I think
you know
that's
what?
a new record for me. I've never given anyone nervous poops. I've had them sweating. I had people that were extremely like nauseous afterwards because of all the nerves that they wound up. But like, hi,
Nervous
I'm the
poops?
friend. Oh my God, the friend's in chat.
Yeah, it's true. I messaged Tatsuya and I was like, I'm having nervous poops, and she said, "Oh no, babes," and I said, "LOL, it's fine."
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do any other like medication for streaming? I know some people rely on weed. I do my energy drinks.
I drink a lot of Mountain Dew. I have anxiety meds along with a bunch of like meds for like actual like health things that I've got going on and that we're trying to figure out. So that's been like a whole nother thing on top of my streaming stuff, is having to deal with all of my different appointments and things and trying to figure out like what's worth going to a doctor's appointment and what's not. And it's like a whole crazy thing.
Are
Life's
you
been
okay?
wild.
Should I be concerned for you?
So once again, you can cut this if you want to, I don't care. But I might have a thing called ankylosing spondylitis, which basically means that by the time I die, my entire spine will fuse together. And I have sclerosis on my lower spine, which basically means that like everything around my bones is hardening. And so they're trying to figure out what's going on with me. I'm
Okay.
an anomaly.
That's where I
But we're
also
trying to
lost the
figure it out,
genetic
you know?
lottery. But that to me, I'm sorry, I don't think that's weird in the slightest. I actually thought it was badass because the first thing I went to when you said that is, man, you're gonna make an amazing fossil.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm gonna be in one of those bone museums. Here we are, back to boners. I'm gonna be in a bone museum, and they're gonna have my spine. They're gonna be like, this lady had ankylosing spondylitis, and this is what it looks like when your spine fuses together. And I'm gonna be famous.
It doesn't help that the
crazy.
name of it literally sounds like a dinosaur name.
Yes, exactly. Oh yeah. Have you ever seen the ankylosaur?
Yes, they're not amazing dinosaur. I love dinosaurs. I live near the
I also love
Royal
dinosaurs.
Tyrrell Museum, and it's amazing. They're celebrating their 40th year this year, and they have so many cool dinosaurs on display. Honest, when I was a little scout, I got to camp overnight underneath the T-Rex. You think
Mhm.
that sounds badass and cool, right? They have motion sensor things that make dinosaur noises. So as a little kid and sleeping under a dinosaur, and in the middle of the night
And
somebody
hearing
goes to go
dinosaur
pee, and then you
noises.
hear "Rawr!" Oh my
Yeah.
god, it was so amazing of an experience. Anyways, I love dinosaurs. So I went immediately to dinosaurs and fossils there.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite
So,
dinosaur?
so here's the thing, right? I My favorite dinosaur is a brontosaurus
Bro, why?
because I just think they're so majestic and beautiful, and because Land Before Time traumatized me.
This is the worst. This is the worst pick for favorite dinosaur I've ever heard.
It's like,
They're
Mom,
majestic.
dead. Mama, dead. Traumatized. And now they're my favorite because they're beautiful and majestic.
You're giving a lot of people in chat PTSD, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
What
Mhm.
movie did you watch a lot as a kid? Was it Land Before Time?
I did watch a lot of Land Before Time. Um, I will say for about a year straight, I watched the movie Meet the Robinsons on my TV in my room because I didn't have a TV with like cable. It just had like a DVD player. So I watched Bridge to Terabithia, um, Coraline, and Meet the Robinsons over and over constantly for like years. Those
I
three
don't know any of those
movies.
movies. I don't know why I asked that question.
That's okay. It's all right.
So
That's okay.
somebody in the audience will understand those movies.
Hmm.
Fair enough. So you joined the Juice Bar because he asked. You're on other stream teams, right?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about those?
Sure. I'm also Tetsuya underscore Inc., who's in chat right now, the friend that I told her that I had anxious poops. She is the leader of the Dragon's Nest, which is another stream team that I'm a part of. I joined it because Tetsuya has been one of my best friends for many years now. I've known her for such a long time, and I wanted to be able to support her and be on that team with her. I'm actually flying out to see her in January. She's getting some medical things done. And so I'm going to stay out there with her to help her take care of her family for that week, and get things done around the house so that she can just relax and rest. So I would do anything for her. I love her so much. I'm also on the shrubbery, which is led by the Reluctant Hermit. Hermit asked me at the beginning of him starting the shrubbery to be on his team. It was very similar to Juice, where like this is someone who I've known for a long time and I really respect them and their content.
How
And
did you
so I
get to
had
know
said
the hermit?
yes. The Reluctant Hermit I actually met through my husband because my husband watched him very regularly. And so one day we all watched him. There was like a group of us, like 6 or 7 in a Discord. We were watching Hermit stream and we all started giving bits and subs. And for some reason, I got accidentally timed out. And then I didn't get untimed out and things were going wrong. And then for like 4 months, I couldn't sub or give bits to Hermit because every time I did, Twitch would time me out for like 5, 10 minutes. So eventually I messaged Hermit and I was like, hey, like, I don't know what's going on, but this is what's happening. It's been going on for like multiple months now. And he's like, oh my God, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. And so he got that fixed. And then just ever since then, we've had that one awkward moment and now we've been friends ever since.
I know that feeling. I've had awkward moments myself. Usually it's something like Twitch messed up. Pretty much your example right there. Like, for
Mm-hmm.
example, people that I'm following forever and then Twitch just unfollows me, which I
Yeah.
tinfoil hat on. Every time I've gone to a Twitch stream and it's like second monitor content, not every
Mm-hmm.
time, but I look over and the follow button is highlighted saying unfollow. My mouse isn't hovered over it. And I'm worried that when I click back to the page, I have to be very
Mm-hmm.
precise so I don't click the unfollow button. I
Yeah.
used to think it was a mobile thing. If you remember Twitch mobile, it was one
Mm-hmm.
click unfollow. It wouldn't say, "Are you sure you want to unfollow?" And I thought that was the
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah. That it happens all the time. There's been people who like I know that I've followed them and I've been following them for years as far as I know. And I get rated into them and I'm like, I didn't know that they were still streaming. I thought that they just stopped streaming because I never saw their streams. But turns out I just somehow along the way got unfollowed.
Mm.
Um And so Twitch be twitching.
How does
So
Twitch not
it's
fix something like that by this point?
I don't know. And I don't know if it's a thing of like I don't know if it's just like a lack of people reporting it to Twitch or if it's just a lack of like knowing what causes it. Like, I don't know, but I feel like it would be something that could be fixed relatively easily, I would imagine. But granted, I am not a coder and I don't know anything about nothing. So I just
Mm.
work here vaguely.
Speaking of Twitch, would you use a different platform or do you multi-stream?
So I actually tried to multi-stream, but I do not have the technology brain to get it working properly. So I have to wait for my husband to get home to help me.
So
But
wait, your
I
husband set
want
up your
to
stream?
multi-stream. Well, my husband knows how to do the multi-stream stuff. He's very much so my tech guy. He does a lot of electronics things, lots of like computer things. So he's my go-to tech support. And I couldn't figure out how to get the multi-stream to work. And instead of bothering someone on the internet, I'm like, oh, I'll just wait an unknown amount of months for my husband to get home, and then we'll give it a try then. But I try to post on other places because and this might be controversial, and I'm sorry, and you can cut this if you want to, but I don't think Twitch is gonna be around forever. I think that, there are other platforms that will be around longer and that I think may or may not treat their people better. I don't know personally. I can't really say that for sure. But I would definitely say that I don't think Twitch is going to be around forever. And so I don't want to put all of my eggs into one basket. And then, if it one day just isn't there anymore, what am I going to do? Right. Like I'm going to feel so lost. And so I think it's good to have a presence in multiple places. If it's something that you enjoy doing and you're passionate about, I think that it just makes sense to spread that content and everything to more than one place, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes sense. I don't even think that's controversial in the slightest. I actually fully agree. My outlook on streaming right now, specifically on Twitch, is that it is a slow bleed. I want to compare it to Stream Raiders, where the
Yeah.
numbers are going down time and time again. They're making so many bad decisions that is killing their reputation. They're not thinking about bringing on new blood. It's more of we're bleeding the people that we have. They're making decisions that are killing streams, like the stuff that they were doing with lurkers and view bots and all the drama that they're horribly ignoring, and the moderation issues that they have across the entire platform is killing Twitch. As for a different
The amount of
place,
people
I
who
don't
get
know.
unjustly banned is crazy, and that hurts them so much
So
because
much.
I never see people posting about, oh, I got banned, but like I deserved it, right? Like it's always I got banned and I do not understand why, and I do not deserve this. And I feel like that happens so often to
We
so many
literally
people, and
had
it's
a
like,
teammate
how do
banned
we?
this week.
Yeah, and
I
it's like,
joined
how
and
do
they're
we not
banned. I feel like
have?
I'm a bad mojo there.
No. It's not your fault. But it's like
Naturally.
there's a lot of streamers that I know who have been banned who and a lot of times, and this might be a conspiracy tinfoil hat moment, but I feel like a lot of time it's people who are on partner pushes or people who are already partner who are trying to like make some kind of new headway, because a lot of the people that I know who have had this happen, it's when they're getting higher numbers and they're starting to, get up there. And maybe it's people who like search for people who are doing those kinds
I
of
don't
things and
know.
try to, mess them up.
Let me
Maybe it's
increase your
interesting. I don't know.
tinfoil to more like I don't know, aluminium or maybe even tin, bronze,
Sure.
something like that. I'm going to increase
Sure.
it because I've done the partner push myself. And
Hmm.
I'm sure anybody that's in chat has ever been a partner, or anybody who's been a part of these partner pushes know the energy of the stream also drastically changes. I lost
Hmm.
almost half of my streamer friends when I was doing a partner push, primarily because most of them didn't believe I would be able to make partner. Most of them thought I didn't deserve it. And so they become very bitter and vitriolic, where I had people literally trying to cancel and report me the entire partner push, people that I thought were
Yeah.
friends. So I don't just think that you might have a tinfoil hat. I think it's a bit sturdier, that when you
Hmm.
do successful things on Twitch, people hate to see success. And sometimes it includes viewers hate to see people succeed. I think there's a
Hmm.
little thing where streamers like, not streamers, viewers like to watch streamers struggle. And some people get enjoyment out of that.
I don't know about that necessarily, like
It depends
specifically
upon the
from what I've
community.
seen, but I will say I know that I know that there's viewers that are like, oh, like once you get big and you make it, like you're not going to be the same person. You're not going to chat with chat as much. Like you're going to be like those COD players who don't read their chat and they just play the game and they never look at chat a single time that they're playing, right? And so I know that there's some people who are like worried that once you hit partner, like you're going to get some kind of an ego boost, and people do, and not everybody, but there are quite a few people who do get some kind of an ego boost out of it, and all of a sudden they're better than certain things and whatever. So it's wild.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know what other platform that is useful these days. Like Twitch, Kick has a bad reputation that they've somewhat been fixing with a lot of Twitch streamers going over. YouTube
Mm-hmm.
seems like they're just spinning their tires with their platform. I don't
See, I
know if they
wouldn't
ever
live
plan
stream.
to
If I
improve it.
moved to something else, it wouldn't be live streaming. I would just move to I would move to probably recorded content, like YouTube things, or honestly, I've said it a billion times, I'll say it a billion more. I love improv so incredibly much. I would just start trying to do more stuff around where I live and join an improv group if I could and start doing that stuff, because I feel like I personally feel like I mean, I guess I could call this my thing. My thing is that like I am meant to be some kind of an entertainer. I just feel that in my bones. I feel like in some
That are
way, shape,
getting
or
more
form,
solid.
I am meant to entertain people. How much I entertain people is a different question. What did you say under your breath?
You feel it in your bones that are getting more solid.
My bones that are getting more solid,
Yeah,
especially
you
my
feel it in your
spine.
solid bones. It's a
I
solid
do.
sign from the universe.
I feel it when I walk around for 2 hours in Crocs. But I do, like, I feel like I'm meant to be some kind of an entertainer. This doesn't mean that I'm meant to be famous. I don't think it's anything like that. But like, I feel like I'm meant to be a people person. You know,
Okay,
I don't know if
that's
that
fair.
makes sense.
No, it totally makes sense. I never really wanted to become famous because I love the thought of not being the famous person, the person that doesn't get remembered, but I want to be the person that carries people. I want to be the
Mm-hmm.
support class, which is why in D&D I don't like streaming it because I usually fall back to being a support character instead of the main character. And
Mm-hmm.
it really goes, I don't want to say hypercritical or hypo whatever it is, compared to being a streamer, because that's like antithesis of a streamer. You're supposed to be the main character, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like
Yeah.
chat's my main character.
Yeah. I get that.
Fair enough.
I understand that. Yeah.
But you're not doing any sort of the improv stuff right now.
I've been looking for places around me that do improv, and there's so many things around here. Now it's just a matter of weeding through which ones would be better or worse, which ones are closer. And also there's a lot that are like improv for kids. So I'm like, I'm not trying to be in a kids class on accident. Like I'm trying to find the adult ones, and I'm trying to find good ones.
But you're talking just classes, not actually like joining an improv group or doing
Well, that's how
something
you start.
online.
That's how you get into improv, is you start with classes, kind of see how it goes, and then you start trying to find a group, because you need to have some kind of like a experience. I almost said reputation. You need some kind of
Uh-oh.
experience, and so I feel like that would be a good first
I've been doing
step,
it wrong.
if that
I've
makes
never
sense.
taken a class on improv in my life.
You can still improv no matter what, but I just feel like that would be a good first step to see if I'm even like worth anything in it, you know?
I'm gonna disagree hard on that one. I think that you don't need to put your worth on a course, and often think that people don't teach properly. However, it's
Mm-hmm.
a lot easier to get the experience with people who are, in it for the same thing. They want to learn how to improv as well. So it's like you get in the same like mind and you can feed off each
Mm-hmm.
other.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's more so like I don't know how to get into it, and that's just my best guess. And so that's what I made my plan of being, because I don't know how else to get into it. So that's that's
I
my
mean, if
best
you
guess.
asked me, I would have said you're already doing the groundwork of making a streamer reward for it, like the channel point
Mhm.
redemptions, because that encourages you to become creative on your own. You could do all sorts of things. Like one of the streamers' best tools, in my opinion, is the yes and mentality. And so you can
Yeah,
build off of
absolutely.
that with just streaming. You don't need to go for a course for that. Second,
Mhm.
you could just go to YouTube and not pay somebody to do the courses, and then you learn from people who do improv.
That's true too, but then I can be around people, you know?
Just
Granted, I
get
am
more
the funniest person
collabs.
I know, so who else do I need? Am I right? So
Well, you
stupid.
could
I'm
use
so
some
dumb.
people to bounce some ideas off of. All wonderful
I
shows
know.
have more than one writer.
I'm just being silly. I know.
I get it.
I had to do the callback, you know? You got to do
Man,
a
you've
callback.
called back to that one like 4 times.
I know. Okay. I didn't say I was good at it.
That's what she said. Ayo.
Dang it. Uh,
So, what kind of community do you think that you could if somebody were to say, "Oh man, I want to check out Awkward Monsters," what kind of community does she have? How would you explain your little monster boyos?
uh, uh, my monster boyos are like the people in my community.
I'm gonna call them
My
boyos, but your community,
monsters.
your monsters.
Well, my monster boyos are the little dudes that I draw.
I
The
was trying to do a
monsters are my
callback.
community,
Way
so
to
just
try and
making sure.
correct me instead of reading the context there. Jesus.
It's not that I was correcting you, it's that I was clarifying so that I knew what I was
Oh,
talking
okay.
about.
I'm sorry, I'm not good enough butter.
Yeah, I need to clarify this butter real quick.
Mm.
Proud of you. Thank you for that. That was a good one. Um I would say gremlins, but like cozy gremlins, right? Because they do like to tease me and pick on me, you know, as all chats do. But it's a good time. I feel like there's a lot of good vibes, but there's a lot of just silliness that happens. Silly gooses, gremlins. Luna absolutely is a gremlin. Don't listen to her. She's also a degenerate, and we love her for that. But I'd say there's a lot of that. Just a lot of just chaos, but like in a sweet little gremlin-y way. You
If
know?
you were to
Does that make
compare them
sense?
to a famous celebrity, which celebrity do you think would fit in your community the best?
Oh, I love questions like this. Um,
Because
the only
if
bad
you're
thing is
looking,
I'm not good with celebrities. But give me a
okay,
moment. Give me a
neither am
moment. I
I.
got this.
But if I
You
were to
keep
pick
talking while
one,
I think.
if I were to
Hmm.
pick one for being in your community, I'd probably select like Ryan Reynolds. I
I
think
could
he'd
see
fit in
that as
good.
like his character. See, I was gonna say, what's her name? She's got curly brown hair.
Do you know how little that narrows
She's
it down?
hold
Why do
on,
you go
hold
by
on.
hair
She's
color?
in. Hold on. I'm not done. She's got curly brown hair. She is in a lot of comedy movies. She people tell me that I look like her because I'm a bigger lady. Um, and she's what the heck is her name? She's in Bridesmaids.
I'm gonna just
Um,
throw out a name of Melissa McCartney.
Melissa McCarthy.
Nailed it.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's her.
celebrities. That's like the only name I know.
Yeah, Melissa. I would say that's pretty accurate for who my chat are. They're just silly little goblins, but like in a good way.
Okay. If you were to make a movie, what kind of movie
Hmm.
would you make?
I would make either a super fantastical movie like fantasy dragons and things, or a comedy, or maybe a comedy that was fantasy, but I don't know how that would work very well for me. But probably a comedy or a fantasy
And
movie.
if you were to act in a movie, would it be the same kind?
I feel like I would. I feel like I'd have to. I feel like if I were to act in a movie, I think that I would most likely be cast in a animated movie, like a cartoon movie, like animation movie, voice
I'm not
acting
gonna lie.
stuff, which I have done some voice acting.
I heard your voices and I was gonna be like, you need to be a voice actor. For some reason, you do really good male voices.
It's honestly my voice acting is something that I am so incredibly passionate about, but it's the same thing of like I don't know how to get started and get into it. I've done a couple of like side projects for people that are doing projects online to try to just like get my name out there a little bit. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing all my improv things so that I can like showcase my ability a little bit more because I would love to get into voice acting. I thoroughly think that I would be I really do wholeheartedly think that I could be successful doing voice acting for little silly cartoons and things. But I just don't know how to get into it. So
I
I'm
personally would
here.
love to be a voice actor. I know a couple of ways of getting into it because I've talked to many voice actors. In fact, they're my celebrities that I care about is voice actors, and nobody
Hmm.
ever knows voice actors. First off, second off, my problem of getting into voice acting, not only do I have a terrible voice, in my opinion, which everybody thinks their voice sucks. Let's be honest on that one. I think that the rise of AI is going to kill that market so hard.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's
I
unfortunate.
recently watched someone play a demo of a game and all of the voice acting was really shitty AI voices. And I'm like, they could have hired someone who would have probably done it for free to voice all of those characters that they decided to AI. Like they could, give someone work for their resume rather than AI it with really shitty AI that you don't even want to listen to, you know? And it's just really unfortunate, but I do hear you there where AI is kind of I think it has the potential of taking over a lot of different jobs and things, which is just really unfortunate because we as people just need to get more creative and we need to just do it. I think AI can be a tool that people can use in a positive way, but I feel like just so much of it is being used to replace instead, if that makes sense.
I get it. We've had a lot of conversations about AI on the podcast because it's such a ever evolving and honestly scary topic because there's
Mhm.
so much replacement and things that you can do with AI. And
Mhm.
my opinion is very controversial on that one, where I don't think AI is bad in the slightest. I do
Mhm.
understand that it sucks that they're stealing art from artists and stealing jobs from like voice actors. That sucks. But it's
Mhm.
kind of like how I compare why do we support through government initiatives and other things like newspapers. Who the hell reads
Mhm.
newspapers anymore?
Old people.
Why do we
You don't
still
read the
have
newspaper?
analog TV? No, I've not read a newspaper in over a decade. I've not had cable TV in over a decade. So why are we
Because somebody
subsidizing
somewhere,
this?
but well, this is also, I mean, you can also think of it as like newspapers are like physical things that we so I'm gonna I'm gonna get a little tinfoil hat here for a
Okay,
moment. So
go
like
ahead.
newspapers and things like that, like these are written down physical, like quote unquote, like archives, right? Like we can have these newspapers for years to come, and sure, we could put them on the internet or something, or save them on a computer somewhere. But like having a physical item, a physical thing when it comes to like storytelling and things like that. Like, how did we get to the stories that we have nowadays? They were from spoken mouth, and there's a lot that we've found that were like written down in books and things. And like, you pass down so much information and like history and stuff. Granted, I know history has not been super great, and a lot of history is very one sided told, depending on where you are in the world. It's all different. But like, I feel like newspapers and things like that are important to still have because I feel like that is a written record, a written document of like those things existing in case if, someday just all the computers explode. Like there is still written physical existence of these things, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever keep it
Also, I
around.
just like newspapers. They're fun. I
Physical
think they're
things fall
cute.
apart.
Yeah,
I get
but that's
liking
part of
physical
the
things.
antique.
Like the one of the best ways you'll get me on the side of that, I still have the collector's edition of StarCraft from back in the day that I bought for $19 at Staples.
Hmm.
I like
Hmm.
physical copies of games. I don't like downloading all my games.
Yeah, I prefer to have a physical copy of things. I just feel like because I mean, if I think about it, how much money, how many hundreds, if not maybe thousands of dollars have we spent on like Steam and other things like that, right? So like how much money am I going to be out of and how many games am I going to be out of if Steam one day just doesn't exist?
Well, we don't know, and we also technically don't own any of those games or anything these days, which is also a
Exactly.
scary thought.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy.
But as for like newspapers and stuff, I don't want to pay somebody to have an outdated job just because of my jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also like AI for the ability for the everyman to make movies, to make video games, to be as creative because the tools are
Like I said,
there.
I think it can definitely be a resourceful tool for sure. I just think we need to not fully rely on it. That's all.
I don't
But I
know.
definitely think it's a great tool.
Google help. Is she right? What's Google's AI? Is that no? It's not Grok. That's
I don't
Twitter.
know.
Which one's is it? Gemini? It's probably Gemini.
I feel like I've heard the word Gemini, so maybe.
I don't know. I don't actually use much aside from Chat GPT every now and then for work, but actually I use Photoshop's AI. That is a brilliant tool that I abuse the
Yes.
hell out of because
Yeah, I've
there,
used Photoshop's
there's a
AI as
lot of
well.
time where I will have my content that I cut up for YouTube, and my camera is in a bad spot, so I like delete my camera and I ask AI to fill the slot, and it does marvelous things for that. Also for cutting up videos and stuff. If you've ever had to select a person and separate it from the rest of the video, like green screen, the advances on AI on that is brilliant. It's mind-boggling.
I have not experienced that yet, but I feel like that would be so incredibly helpful.
Do you do much editing? That tells me a no.
My editing goes from I can cut this part and delete it. I can put music underneath and change the volume of things. And I can put a picture on top of a video. And that's about as far as my editing gets. Because the last time that I fully edited like videos with like fancy things going on was with Windows Movie Maker back when I was in junior high making videos for YouTube that me and my friend Jonica thought we were going to get famous off of. And
Huh.
obviously we didn't.
My
But
biggest problem with editing is that I am not a digital artist. And that's one of the tools that I'm trying to get into, but the problem is I don't have any time. I tell you, between editing, streaming, podcasting, etc. Because if I could digitally draw things to add in and animate things to add in, it would take my editing even higher up another level.
100%. I'm trying to work on my animation because that's something that I have so many cool, fun, silly ideas. I could make my own little YouTube small videos with like my monster boyos if I could animate them and make my own little cartoon with my own voice acting, right? Like, and these are all things that I've wanted to do, but like I just don't have that skill set. And there's not enough time and energy in the world to just get that all together, if that
That's
makes
the
sense.
feeling of a streamer. You're always trying to do something. Always. Fair enough. So what are you actively working on aside from improv?
For stream or just like in general?
In general, I mean, for stream, we've covered a lot of that. You know, you're trying to make things more improv, more interactive with your community. But like for your personal life, what do you do? Like New Year's resolutions?
So kind of. So I do practice a bit of like some spiritual and like people would call like witchcraft things where it's like it's not necessarily witchcraft, but like I do practice with like spiritual things. And so I do write like, I write down all my things of like what I would like to do in the next year. You burn them. It's like a whole thing. But I kind of have like goals and things, but my goals and things typically revolve around my streaming because that's like my main thing that I do is I stream. But some things that I've been working on is like I'm designing a tarot card deck. I'm designing an oracle card deck. I have been designing a coloring book for a couple of years now. I've got like 30 pages. I am working on a secret YouTube channel that nobody knows. Actually, I have 3 people who know it, where I've been reading stories from like scary subreddits. I've just been reading scary stories with like haunted piano in the background. I have been I've attempted to do podcast things, but it hasn't exactly worked out for me because I'm so busy and there's just too many things going on.
What type of
So like
podcast do you do?
Well, so it's kind of complicated. I have one with Tatsuya that we were attempting to do for a while that we kind of started. We didn't get super duper far with it, and then we both just got busy. Where it was kind of just like word vomit, right? Hey, what are you passionate about? Great, we're gonna put a whole episode together around that topic and we're just going to word vomit about it and kind of bounce back and forth and improvise conversation and things. I have a idea for a podcast or a YouTube channel. I don't know which one it would be better represented as, with another friend where it basically would be fully around improv and it would be like a silly kind of, think of the game, the Dale and Dawson game where you're like in a business but like you're causing mayhem and chaos. It would be like a business setting, but it's just full chaos instead of being actual business. So like, silly suits and ties, but we're just being stupid and goofy the whole time. And yeah, I have lots of ideas for things. I can just never finish anything. And I have this really stupid thing in my brain where if I don't think I can do it perfectly, I just don't ever finish it. I just don't ever do it because that's just how my brain works, which is really frustrating and annoying when I have so many things that I want to do. But it's like I'm trying to work on just getting past that and just doing it and just starting it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just starting it and, hope for the best. But I have to get past my own, I am in my own way, and a lot of my projects that I want to do. So,
A lot of
yeah.
people will feel that. That's quite a mood, especially as a streamer and content creator. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
so many people want things to be perfect. And I live by the just do it, just start it. If you don't start it, you'll never start it. So why wait till it to be perfect? And I feel like I'm currently listening to the audiobook of Don Quixote. They have so many things about how, like, going for a perfect decision will always lead for somebody to never make a decision, that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of wisdom that can be shared there. I don't have any wisdom for you, but I did hear that you had stream goals. What are your stream goals?
I don't know. I think it would be very cool to, you know, um get further from where I am right now. Do better than where I am right now. I'm always trying to do better
That's
than
not a
me
goal.
now. I know. I'm always I'm always trying to do better than I am now. I have a lot of people that are putting some light pressure and also some people that are putting some very heavy pressure for me to get closer to potentially getting partner one of these days. Um, but every time I think about it, I get too scared because I like, and I know I'm going to sound some kind of way, but I don't know how else to say it, so I'm just going to say what my brain says. Like, I want to have as genuine of a community as possible and get my numbers up genuinely, intentionally, as best as I can before I even think about pushing for partner, like solidly, because I don't want to do the thing that you see so often on Twitch where like, oh, I'm going to push for partner, you get there, and then everybody leaves because they were there to help you get that goal. Once you hit that goal, they're off to the next person to help hit a goal. And there's nothing wrong with that, but like I want to try to build up my space and what I have, you know, right now with what I'm doing now without putting a goal out there to see how far I can get and see where I can get. And then, if the cards fall into a place one day, that would be great. But if they don't, that's also perfectly fine because I'm still able to do what I love and what I enjoy regardless.
Do you want some wisdom to help solidify an argument to strongman your position?
Sure.
So allow me to lament for a moment as I did the partner push, and I've got a unique perspective that I don't think a lot of people have on the partner push. And that's primarily getting partners not all it's cracked up to be. It's become less and less important over
Yeah.
time. Twitch has made everything more available to affiliates than ever before. They've also made it super easy to get partner. However,
Mm-hmm.
I personally have the opinion, and I will justify this opinion, that getting partner is actually detrimental in almost 95% of cases. And that comes from Go ahead.
I would love to add to this. So, for the longest time, I have always said that getting partner is just now you have a purple check mark that makes other people scared of you. Because I feel like a lot of people, like, I feel like from what I've noticed, a lot of people don't want to write into partners because they've already gotten there. They're already where they need to be. They've already gotten to that goal. Or like they're scared of them. People don't want to talk to them. They don't want to chat as much. I feel like it just intimidates people for some reason. And I feel like there's a handful of partners that suddenly get some kind of a boost of like, oh, well, I'm better than when it's you have a purple check mark next to your name. You're not making any more money than anybody else is. You're not guaranteed content. You're not guaranteed money. You're not guaranteed subs. You're not guaranteed viewers. You're not guaranteed any kind of sponsorships. You're not guaranteed. There's nothing that you're guaranteed as like a bonus of getting partner. So in
I'm
my
going to
brain,
hard disagree on almost everything you said.
really, I feel
Yes.
like there's no guarantees when you hit partner.
I wouldn't say guarantee. I feel like that's a rabbit hole that you fell down of looking at guarantees. It's definitely easier. There's actual tools that help you get sponsorships and stuff. The problem is that you aren't
Tools,
guaranteed
for sure,
it
yeah.
for sure. You do
Yeah.
need to still meet partner level metrics, but that's neither here nor there. You're not guaranteed
Yeah.
anything in the first place ever. So
Exactly. That's what I'm saying though. I feel like there's not that much of a difference in that case when it comes to not being partnered. But I feel like it's
there
just
is an
a
advantage there.
goal.
It's small. It's not a big advantage, but because you get access to multiple more tools, and there are people like sponsors that will actively, and I've had this happen before, they search for partners, and that's how they choose sponsors. So there
Gotcha.
is small benefits. Is it a significant thing? No, it's you could probably throw it in the garbage, especially when you think that people reach partner and then fall back below partner level, and then they don't get partnerships, they don't get included in these tools because they don't meet the partner level to be given those tools. But I'm also going to disagree that people find partners to be terrifying. There are some cases that, yes, people are terrified of partners because they think they're all that in a bag of chips. But I feel like that's small streamer energy that people who don't know or haven't been here long enough think that they are higher than their status should be. I think that people don't typically care about partners unless you're in two different camps. One, you're trying to do a partner push yourself, or you like to brag about how many partners are in your stream because you think that means you have high quality friends, high quality content, partners want to watch you. So I see that point there. But my comment on how partner is detrimental overall, it's a net detriment, is kind of where you were mentioning. Once you get partner, people all of a sudden start thinking, oh, you've reached your goal of partner. You're done. I don't need to support you. I don't need to raid you. You're already partner, so I'm going to raid somebody else. I don't need to sub to you because you already made it big. I'm going to support a smaller streamer. Even if the partner has like 20 to 30 viewers like I do, they think that you're, I don't want to say not worth it. They think that other people need their help more. And don't get me wrong, they do. But honestly, it's like you get that tarnish on you, and then furthermore, people expect all sorts of things because you are a partner.
Yeah.
And that sucks the most, because then people come in like, oh, you're a partner, you don't have enough viewers. Oh, you're a partner and you're misbehaving. Twitch should ban you harder. Like you're held to a higher standard. Further, there's so many different things that people expect from partners that they would never expect from somebody who's not partner. So I would give the advice almost 9 times out of 10, do not push to the partner level, because the detriments will hurt you in the long term. There are, of course, caveats. Like for me, I had to do it because Stream Raiders basically shoved it upon me. So I pushed for 2 months and I got it. I would never have gotten close to it without it. Well, I don't want to say never. I probably could have gotten to the levels organically, but the opportunity was handed to me on a silver plate. I had to take it.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
That's one of the cases I would say you should do a partner push, but by doing it organically, like you're saying, not only are you getting the foundation of a good stream that's not going to bail immediately, like you're saying, it also allows you, in my personal professional opinion, the ability to make mistakes that you don't get to make as a partner. You can't
Hmm.
say something incredibly stupid as a partner because you're more likely to get canceled. Everybody will hate you. They'll abandon ship. As a smaller streamer
Hmm.
that's not partnered, you can easily make a mistake and people forgive you for it. Holy shit, it's so annoying. Anyways, I could rant more about why partner is a net negative. The benefits
Yeah.
are there. It's worth getting, but I wouldn't push. Never push. Sorry, that was my soapbox
No,
moment.
it's okay. No, I like having these conversations because I don't have a lot of people who I've had these conversations with. So when I do get to have them, it's very nice to be able to see everybody's perspectives and viewpoints and things like that. So I thoroughly appreciate it. Thank you for getting on your soapbox.
I feel like the best thing that I've ever had as a partner is the partner benefits at TwitchCon. Those were really nice. The transcoding and the emotes also really nice. Beyond that,
Yeah.
I have not had a
Yeah.
benefit as a partner that was really worth pushing. And I don't want to say killing the channel, but setting me
Hmm.
on a path where it's like constant struggle. I kind of wish I went back in time and said, no, I'm not going to take this. But I don't know if I would change my mind on doing the partner push purely
Hmm.
because it was offered to me on a silver platter.
And that makes sense. Like I totally get that. And that's talking about Stream Raiders, that's kind of what happened with when I got Stream Raiders partner, which is not the same as getting partner, but I got
It's
Stream
close
Raiders
enough.
partner because all the pieces kind of just fell into place perfectly. I was doing some charity work for the Humane Society, which they're now the Humane World for Animals. I was doing charity work for them, and then I was also doing some big events with Stream Raiders that I had just started kind of like really getting into it. And so I had like an influx of people, and that's how I was able to get Stream Raiders partner. And then after I got Stream Raiders partner, and after I was done with that charity event, things started to kind of dwindle again. But I had it for that amount of time, and it just kind of fell to me on a silver platter just because everything kind of fell into place there. So
I got Stream Raiders partner for doing a skinathon. That was literally it. It raised my average above, and it was a slam dunk from there. I wish I had partner
mhm.
before the skinathon because naturally, as a partner, you get paid more. Unlike
Yeah.
partner for Twitch, I feel like they really need to change the Partner Plus program. I
Hmm.
understand why they don't because they want to encourage growth instead of having one or two, what are they called, whales that fund an entire stream. I don't know. Do you have many whales
Hmm.
in your community, would you say?
I don't necessarily think so at this moment in time. I mean, there are people who use bits to torture me more often than others, but like
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that I have like anyone who comes in and drops like 100 subs a month or something like that.
I
Like
think
I
anybody
would
that
say
drops
that it's
100 subs
pretty.
is possibly mentally unwell unless it's like a
I
subathon.
I think it's pretty spread around for the most part.
They
Um,
literally scared me this week when they put out the 1,000 sub button. I hate that.
yeah,
What is your
yeah.
opinion on the
I
1,000 subs?
I didn't know that was a thing until you just said it right now.
You didn't know that they made a
I
button
didn't
that
know
you
that
can
was a
gift
thing.
1,000 subs.
I did not. I did not know that was the thing until just now. I can't
Oh
even
my
imagine what it would be
goodness.
like to get 1,000 subs. I've gotten 100 subs, I think, twice ever in my 5 years, and that was wild.
Yes.
And I was like, why?
I
Just
had to join my
I
subathon.
don't think I don't think that I'm worth this. The first time I think it was my birthday celebration, a handful of years ago. And then the second time was I think during another. I think it was a stream anniversary. I think. Yeah,
Overall, I feel
it was
like a
wild.
100 subs makes me feel bad by itself. Like that's crazy amount of support.
Hmm.
I get I don't justify having 100 subs at a time. I think there's better ways to support a streamer. But people have their money and they can spend it however they want.
Hmm.
I'm on the side where I'm thinking I might deactivate. I think you can deactivate like the 1,000 gift sub one.
Hmm.
I think you can actually deactivate. There's also a 200 gift sub button. But I'm pretty sure you can deactivate them. But the problem I have with that is not only does Twitch take half of it immediately, it's one of those things that is like, what do you even do? How do you thank somebody for 1,000
Yeah,
subs?
literally. Like, I don't even know what to do when people drop like 5,000 or like 10,000 bits. Like, that's
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how to thank someone for that, you know? And it's like, how do I show the most like genuine thanks right now for this? Like, this is a big deal. Like, I have someone who purchased, you know, a decent amount of bits on crowd control the other day, and I was like, oh my goodness, thank you. But also, are you about to murder me? Because it's crowd control.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know. Sometimes it's like, what do I do with my hands?
Yes.
What do I like? I don't know how
Absolutely.
to react. What do I do with my hands? And it's I feel like it's hard to like thank people properly when they do such big things like that. Like it's wild, you know.
There's also the other concern that I saw on Twitch Twitter, and I fully support this concern, is somebody buys 1,000 subs. Two things can happen. They can't afford it, or they're malicious and they refund it. You get
Mhm.
charged back and you get fined for chargebacks on Twitch.
Mhm.
I think it could be horribly misused. I also think
Yeah,
people that
absolutely.
intend to do it, again, I border on mental illness there, where it becomes a, oh, is this say you love me too much and I now need to be concerned for my security and safety?
Yeah. I mean that's a lot of money at one time. That's a
Yes.
lot.
It's
Like
$6,000 now, because it's
it's
six
over
dollars
$5,000, yeah.
American. It's $9 here, so it's $9,000 Canadian for a
Yeah,
thousand subs. That is unhealthy, in
that
my
makes me
professional opinion.
nauseous.
Yeah,
That makes me
I
nauseous.
and again, Twitch takes half of it unless you're on the partner push, not partner push, partner program.
The Partner Plus program, yeah.
Yeah, which is I like that they have a program, but again, I think gift subs should count and not just individual subs.
Yeah.
I get why they
I
don't do
agree.
it, because everybody else would
Yeah.
just get gifted subs and they'd fall in the program very easily. I mean, you could gift your own self subs and fall into the program,
Yeah.
but I still think that that's a better program than a you get 50 and you have to rely on like 150, I think it is. I don't remember the number. I'm never going to reach it.
I think it's 300.
300 is the max, I think, for the 70/30. I
Oh,
think for
okay.
the 60/40, it's 150, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
It might be
I
100.
didn't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that a friend recently got it and they had gotten the 300 for 3 months or whatever. So that was the one that I was immediately aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, that gets
wild.
you the best cost, but I still think that it would be better to, drop that into the PayPal instead, or something where it's
Yeah.
not just gobbled up by a platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. Talking about Twitch, one of the things that I've been thinking about personally with my stream, and I'm curious about how other people are thinking about it, is like, how do you bring new people to your stream? I'm not talking like me joining the stream team. I'll probably see some new people from the stream team, but I'm talking like
hmm
bringing new people to Twitch kind of thing.
I wish I knew. I have no idea. Um, Everybody, the thing that we're always told, right, is, oh, we'll post on social media and you'll get people from social media. Like, that'll bring new people. But like new people who've never been on Twitch before, bringing them to Twitch, I don't know how that would even happen. I feel like the only way that I can think of is like, I know that there's some people that I know of who have joined Twitch because of like YouTubers that they watched who have streams, or like Evan J. Stern, he is an actor from Letterkenny and he streams on Twitch. So like I could see how that could bring in people from, who've watched him on TV to come watch him on Twitch kind of a thing. But I genuinely don't know. I have not the slightest of clue of how. I don't even know how to get, new people in my stream half the time. They're always saying like network with people, you got to network with people, but like that only goes so far and like that what does that even mean to everybody? Like everyone has a different opinion on what that means, and it's just a whole complicated mess.
Networking is the worst buzzword, in my opinion, for streaming, because
Yes, I
nobody
agree.
really does it properly, and it just means everything. Basically, everybody tries to use it as like marketing. Um,
Mhm.
but even Twitch doesn't know how to bring new people to the platform. So this is a puzzle that's going to puzzle me for a while, but I'm always wondering,
Mhm.
like, should I say, hey, to my friends and family, you should come watch me on Twitch, or should I join a hobby club thing and be like, oh, hey, I also stream on Twitch, you guys should watch me too. Like,
Mhm.
I think finding new people to bring to the stream a unique idea that benefits the stream better because it enhances like your friendships, and any friend that I brought onto stream has stuck around compared to bringing somebody
Mhm.
from somebody else's stream. They last for, in my opinion, 2 years and then they dip
Mhm.
on average.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's so many fluctuations on Twitch and on the internet of like the ebb there is always a natural ebb and flow of people that move from stream to stream. Like it just happens.
Yeah. I also feel like trying to bring somebody from another stream feels greasy to me, somewhat skeezy.
Mhm.
And then it becomes oh, I have to be better. Oh, I have to be better than Awkward Monsters to keep Tetsuya over here, or keep any of her monsters. I need to be better than her so that I get her following.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
I
See,
feel like it's a bit weird.
it's very funny that you mentioned this because so a lot of people have had this weird mindset towards Tatsuya and I for a long time because we used to stream together almost every single day. Excuse me. Now we stream together every Tuesday. It's called Awkward Tatty Tuesday. And Tatsuya and I, we have pretty much almost always streamed at the same time as each other or around the same time. We've both like worked together. Like we actually talked together in a VC about like, oh, I think I'm gonna start taking a day off. I'm gonna take off Thursday. You know, I kind of want to take a day off too, but I don't want to take off the same day because we share a lot of the same community. So I'm gonna take off Wednesday and Friday. And so, you know, we've kind of done that. But for Tetsuya and I, like we're never like, oh, I need to take all the people that are watching her to come over here. Like, it's not something that we ever deal with. It's just like, hey, we're both existing at the same time, and wherever you are, it doesn't matter, you're here. You know, whether you're on her stream or on my stream, you're here. We're just having a good time, and that's what matters. So many people turn things into a competition when they don't need to be. It
That's
could
fair.
just be what it is.
I
Like
I have
so
a
many
funny
people.
I have a funny anecdote about that. That's not about stealing viewers. So
Hmm.
I used to do a Vibe Tribe group of people that used to play games on every Thursday, which now I do a podcast because they went and played games without me. There was some drama about it, but
Yeah.
one of the things I find remarkable is that they have a completely different viewership nowadays, and I joke about this often because people that hate me or grow to hate me, have drama with me, will find their way into the other communities from the people I was in the Vibe Tribe with, and they go and watch them. And so it feels like when I go into their streams, it's not people that they stole from me. It feels like the island
Hmm.
of misfits.
It's the
And I
yeah, the people that were like,
and then I'm just
thanks.
like, I don't belong here. So it kind of feels like I've lost a
I'll be here
community
right
and,
now.
and friends because we were so tightly knit. And I wonder if the same sort of
Mhm.
thing like would possibly happen with you and Tetsuya is like somebody hates you and is like, I'm never gonna watch Aki again. I'm gonna go to Tetsuya's and I'm gonna stick out there because at least it's the same sort of community, same vibe.
Right.
I
Mhm.
wonder if that'll happen with you guys.
Well, I know that we have people like chatters, some of our friends who are like, "Oh, Tetsuya's yelling at me, so I'm gonna be over here instead." Right? Like Aki's is being too sassy, so I'm gonna be over here, Teddy. You know, like we have people who joke about those kinds of things. And you know, I'm sure there probably are people who are like, you know what? Aki's is not my vibe. I'm gonna hang out with Tetsuya. If they're there on Tuesdays together, like whatever, I'm just gonna hang out here, but like just not my vibe. And that's okay. No one is ever gonna be everyone's vibe. You know what I mean? No one
I
is
get
ever
it.
gonna please every single person. So it's like, it's fine. I'm sure there probably is someone, but I'm not going to use my energy and time and all of my anxiousness that I have in my body to focus on that because I can't change that, you know? So I tried my best to keep myself out of things that can cause me anxiety, right? So like a lot of people when it comes to discords, they're like, "Oh, I can see everyone who joins and leaves my Discord." And it's like, I can't. I can see people who come in, you know, for spam bots and stuff so I can ban them, but I don't know anyone who leaves my Discord ever because maybe they just have too many Discords. Maybe it's because they hate me. Maybe it's because they just don't want to be on social media, and Discord's one of those social medias. Maybe they just needed the Discord because they wanted to post something into the chat that we were talking about, but they don't want to have to stay in the Discord. All of those are valid reasons. But if I can see everyone who leaves a Discord, my brain will hyperfixate on it and be like, oh my God, what have I done wrong? What happened? And that's not where I want to be. That's not who I want to be. So I can't see any of that stuff because
I fully agree.
I don't need that energy in my life. Some
I'm
people
gonna go
will go and
further
find
than
a way
that.
to see who unfollows them. And I'm like, no, thank you. I don't want to see that. I don't need any of that. I don't need that negativity, that energy.
I don't think it's just about the negativity. I'm going to go further and say that the mental headspace that you have to be in to worry about people leaving your community. I've had people leave my community. It sucks. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not babysitting to see who's in chat, who's not, who's leaving my Discord, because that is a mentality that will kill you as a streamer.
Yes.
Not necessarily like commit Sudoku. I'm talking about
ruin your life.
You're going to not only ruin your life, ruin your stream. You're going to be consumed by this, and that is not a mentality a streamer can have. You're going to
ruin
fail.
your mental health. Ruin it.
I know so many people
Absolutely.
like that. And
So
what's worse is
much.
every time I've tried to give those people a shadow of a doubt and not been like, whoa, this is weird. I'm backing out of your community. I don't want to be a part of this. Every time I've been trying to like be even copacetic, whatever, or try and get along with them, they've always turned around and been a fucking snake. Holy shit. Every single time.
Yeah, things are just wild. I've had a couple of instances where like I've left a Discord because I'm like, hey, I just don't use this Discord often. I have no bad blood with this person. I have no issues, but like I'm not in here very often. I have other things that I'm doing. So, I leave the Discord because I just don't need it, and I've filled my list of too many Discords to have. Discord's yelling at me, so I'll leave a Discord that I'm not active in. It's nothing against the person who owns that Discord. It's just I don't use this. I don't talk in it. I don't need to be in it constantly.
Exactly.
And
It's
I've
spring
had people
cleaning.
message me directly after I leave and go, "Did I do something wrong? Is it because of A or B? Is it because I've been gone? Is it because, I'm not as active? Is it because I haven't talked to you? Is it because I haven't been in your stream?" I'm like, I literally just had too many Discords and I'm just not actively typing in this Discord. And that's literally all it is. There's no bad blood. There's no bad hard feelings. Like I literally just don't use this Discord. So I left it. That's all it is. It's as simple and surface level as that. It is not deep.
compare it to like leaving a chore undone is like leaving a Discord community in your list that you don't interact with. Every time you see that thing you haven't done, the Discord you haven't talked in, it drains your energy. And so I actively leave those Discords because it's like, I'm not here. I don't want to scroll past it anymore. Get me out of that Discord. I do it all the time.
Well, like for example, like if you were in my Discord, it would make no sense. We don't have like constant conversation or constantly collab or anything. There would be no
What if I
reason that you would
wanted
have
a
to be.
constant conversation with you?
Then we absolutely could, but like we're not currently on a level of like where we're in VC every day talking about things and playing games, right? So like there is no like logistical need for you to have to be there. If you wanted to be there, you could, but there is no need. And so I think that's a perfectly valid reason to just not be in a Discord. If I don't need to be there, there's not, I don't think there has to, I don't think I have to be there, like, but also please don't leave Zam's Discord ever. Because you're stuck there
don't leave
forever.
my Discord chat.
Yeah,
It's
please don't
very
leave Zam's
imperative
Discord.
that you stay in my Discord. And if you are not in my
Yes.
Discord, you should probably join the Discord.
Yes. And I'm
post
definitely
bird
not going to
pictures
join
every
the Discord for the
month-ish.
first time ever right now. Nope, definitely not me.
That's fair. But that's fine. I mean, I consider it like every other social media. I'm not going to be upset if you guys don't follow me on Twitter. I'm not going to be upset if you guys don't tune into stream. I will be a little bit heartbroken. And I know every streamer is like this. If somebody from a long term, even not even that long, 3 months, if you've been an active member of chat and you leave, holy shit, does that ever kick you in the pants? And you go, man, I haven't seen XYZ in so ever. What happened?
Yeah. And sometimes it's like, I hope they're okay, right? I hope they're like, it's not even necessarily like, oh, they're not here and they're not supporting me. Sometimes it's like, I hope that they're okay. Like, I hope everything's fine. Like, if they're off doing their own thing, totally fine. But like,
I often feel bad.
I hope that
should
they're
I reach
okay.
out to some of these people and check on them? and
Exactly.
I always worry, and I'm like, it feels like I'm trying to be too needy or something,
Mhm.
or that I'm
Yeah.
watching them, and I
I
err on
will
the
say
side of not.
I have reached out to a very few amount of people, but I have reached out to a few amount of people who like I know they had things going on and then they poof disappeared. And so I'm like, hey, are you doing okay? I just wanted to check in. You know, this has nothing to do with stream. Like, I just want to make sure you're okay and that you're good. You know, I have people right now that I could think of off the top of my head that I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen them in a long time. I hope they're doing good. Like, I hope they're okay. I hope they're good. Right. But I'm not going to go message them. But, you know, it's like I said, there's a natural ebb and flow. And I have no harsh feelings with these people that, like, I know they were here because we are very much so creatures of habit and we find new things that we then incorporate into our new routine. And I very much so believe that I am because of how regularly I stream, I become a routine for people and people change up their routines all the time. So they're going to come in and out all the time and that's okay, you know?
Well, that goes to my step one of being a successful streamer, is to have a schedule, a routine,
Yes.
because we
Mhm.
humans are routine. Look at
Mhm.
basic TV. You have The Simpsons on every Sunday. You know what
Mhm.
time your favorite show comes on. You know when to watch it. You tune in. You make time for it. If you don't have a schedule as a streamer, you're playing on hard mode. You're like, I'd
Yep.
almost say suicidal mode.
Yeah. Nightmare
And
mode for sure.
and the more consistent that schedule is and the more frequent it is, the better it is.
Mhm. I
However, as a
100% agree
person,
with you.
I had 4 streams a week. I had to cut it down to 3. It was way too many streams a week.
And that's totally valid.
Mm,
That's totally valid. Right now, I'm streaming 5 days a week for the most part because I don't have anything else going on right now because my husband's deployed and my job is in the afternoons. So some days I'm just like, well, I don't want to just sit by myself. So let's stream. And I'm good. But I know that once my husband gets home, I'm going to take my regular Thursdays off again. I might take an extra day off. Who knows? But I know that once I have that responsibility again, everything will change and I'll still be there for the most part. But you know, I won't have the existence to be able to commit that much existence, if that makes sense.
that's fair. I mean, it's fair
Mhm.
for everyone. You put
Mhm.
in, you get out what you put in, is a piece of advice that I will always remember for streaming. It goes for stream
Mhm.
teams, for your own content, for any community that you're going into. You get out of
Mhm.
it what you put in. I argue that goes for life as well. What is the best
Yeah,
advice
I
you've
would
ever
agree.
gotten?
One of my best pieces of advice that I won't even say that this is necessarily the best, but the first thing that I always think of when people ask me something like this is when I was a cake decorator and I was like first learning, I was really critical of myself. And this lady who was, you know, teaching me and everything, she's like, you will always be your worst critic. You will always see every single problem with your cake, every single dollop that's like a little bit off center or not perfect. You will always see all of these imperfections, but everyone around you, they're not going to see all those little things. They're not going to see all of those, you know, small little lines that might not be totally perfect. Like they're not going to notice that. You're going to notice it because you will always be your harshest critic, but nobody else is going to notice all those little tiny things.
I'm
You need to
gonna
have
make that
patience with
advice
yourself.
one step better, because I heard similar advice from Pix Stitch, who is
Hmm.
a
Yeah,
crafter.
I know Pick Stitch.
Of course you do. But his extra little tidbit that stuck with me on the same vein of advice is to never point it out, because then they will see it. So
Yes,
don't
absolutely. Yeah.
tell people you messed up either.
Hmm.
You're your worst critic, but don't point it out to people.
Yep.
Hide it and never tell anyone, and suffer in
Confidence
silence.
is everything. Confidence is everything sometimes, you know? If you're confident enough with saying that you can do something, people will believe you.
That's fair.
People will
Um,
believe you.
Moving
Fake
to
it
the
till you make it.
next subject I did want to go upon is,
Yeah.
obviously I'm a single man and you're a married lady. I'm
Mhm.
trying to get a girlfriend, and online dating has been tough and all this.
Mhm.
What is your advice, or how did you manage to snag a husband?
Listen, I am not a great person for relationship advice because I
Nobody ever
I
is.
don't
All the
know.
married
I don't
people
know how
don't know
to
how to
date.
get
I don't
in.
know how to date.
Mm,
Zam, you're gonna hate me because
mm.
this is the thing that everybody says, but you just don't look for it. You don't try, and that's when things fall into place. And that's the worst advice, and I hate it. It's just like when people give me the advice of like everyone has their own timeline. It's true, but I hate that advice. But like I was not looking for someone when I met my husband. I also met my husband through mutual friends on Twitch, which is not going to happen for everybody. So don't go using Twitch as a dating app. I don't
Why
recommend that.
not?
But like, because that's not what this is for. But so I met him through mutual friends on Twitch,
Hey, do you have
and
any hot single friends in Canada that I should date?
now we're married.
That's on Twitch.
Um,
They're all married.
my only friend that I know who is single in Canada, is another dude. Other dude. And so I don't know
I'm gonna
many
need you to make more friends
Canadians.
for me.
Okay. All right, I got you. What if I have hot single friends in America that are willing to move to Canada?
I feel like importing a girlfriend and a wife takes way too much time. I'm too old. By the
Yeah.
time I get to import a wife, I will be so ancient and decrepit. My bones will have been fused together, and I'll be an ankylosaur.
Okay, yeah, sure. And I like the callback.
You know, I can do
I
those
love
too.
I love the callback.
But I actually think that you say that Twitch isn't a dating site. I think it is, with the caveat of you cannot push on it. If somebody else disagrees and it is not a dating
I mean,
site, then it's not.
I don't think it's a dating site, period, but you can absolutely meet anyone in anything that you do and find someone who could be your person.
I'm just saying I
But
know a lot of
I
people
just think
who've
that this
gotten
needs to
married
be an
through Twitch.
entertainment website. Yeah, but that's the thing though. Twitch is an entertainment site. You can find people whom you could fall in love with here, but it's not meant for that specifically.
What
Like
if
you
it
shouldn't
was?
start a Twitch channel to start a dating game.
I not only is that a thing, they've also done it for OnlyFans, but I've
I
often wondered
know.
if Twitch would benefit from making a dating website section, like a subsection
Oh,
of Twitch.
absolutely they would. People would absolutely buy into that. But unfortunately, it would be just like Tinder and all those other things where they become just about hookups and stuff.
I mean,
So,
that's already what TwitchCon is. Everybody goes to TwitchCon to get laid.
that's
Everybody knows that, which is why I don't, and I specify that I'm not going to TwitchCon to get laid. That's also how you get canceled.
that's what I've heard also, but I have not ever witnessed anybody going home together at TwitchCon in the 2 years that I've gone now.
Yeah, but they
So,
hide it from you so that they keep
no,
it
I
hush
know.
hush.
I know. I know. The world is crazy.
Twitch is not full of teenagers. For my perspective,
I would
I
say
hang
there
out
are
in adult
more people
only.
that are 30 plus. I'd say there's a lot more, but I do hear what you're saying though, Luna.
That's true, I guess. It depends where you go, what communities you circle around with. Because when I went to TwitchCon in 2023, which is how I got sick, I got COVID from TwitchCon. I
I
felt
also did
so
last
very
year.
old. Because going to those parties, you see everybody else is like 20 something, and I'm over here in my 80s going, "Geez Christ, these people are so young. I can't even talk to these people."
Get off my lawn.
Oh, how many viewers did you have last week? 6, 7? Ugh. They have a different
Get
energy
out of
about them.
here. Get out of here.
Chats tell me to date at McDonald's instead, as if that's a better
I
place to
don't
date than
recommend it.
Twitter
I don't recommend it.
or
I
Twitch.
don't recommend it. I don't recommend that.
Yeah,
And also, don't go to the bar. That's what my dad always told me because my dad has had 3 ex-wives and they all were people he met at the bar.
I don't think women go to the bar. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm wrong, but I've
that's
never
what I'm
heard of a
saying.
single girl saying,
That's what
"I'm
I'm
just gonna
saying.
go to the bar and pick up a dude."
Yeah.
I
Honestly, like find someone, honestly, a really good way to find people, and this is how I would say the Twitch thing is that like find people who share a similar interest of yours so that you already have a base to be able to start a conversation. You
Nobody in
know,
Calgary
whether
likes
it's like,
streaming. It is so dead for content creation.
but I'm sure you could find people who like video games or board games, which are game adjacent,
All
or,
gamer
you
girls are
know,
already married. Changed my mind. They get sniped
listen,
easily because everybody's looking for a gamer girl or a
I
goth girl.
know, I know, but here's the thing. Same but different, you find a book girl because they read their books while you play your video games. You share space, but you're doing your own separate things. That's also a 10 out of 10 thing. You find someone who has a hobby that they're very invested in that you can either participate in with them or that you can both participate in your hobbies in the same room and share space and be together, but not necessarily have to do the same exact thing. That's a 10 out of 10 thing.
I don't know. I'll give that some ideas. So far, you've been giving better dating advice than Juice did. Holy shit, his advice was so bad, bro.
Well, I also feel like Juice probably was trolling you.
Yeah, I mean, he was
He's
also
like, all
trying.
you need. He's like, all you need is my look at all that Juice condom that's back there. It's framed in my background.
With the patented
my...
2-hole technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's Wilson. That's
he was trying to convince me to ease into the Zamisms instead of like shotgunning them and being like, here's my entire personality, or like lying on my online dating profile. And I'm like, nah, I don't like that. If they don't like my personality as raw dogging as I do it, then why would I want to be with them? I feel like it's a slow lie.
So Zam, I know that you have a very strong personality, which is one of the things that I personally love about your space, because you're just like one of my best friends. And he's like a brother to me, and you're very similar to him, and like you're dry, very straightforward, like you're very, and that's why I think you're so funny, because you remind me a lot of him, and he's the same exact way. And I've even told him before, I'm like, you need to go and hang out with Zam, and he's been in your chat a couple of times, and he's like, you're right, we are kind of similar. But it's like you need someone who can handle that personality. And so you need to be upfront with people about it. Why do I need somebody to handle me?
Why can't they mix with me and make a Molotov cocktail?
That counts as someone handling you. Like, my husband has to deal with all my bullshit all the time, my anxious fucking bullshit, my obnoxious sounds and loudness that I have, my stupid voices that I constantly do. Like, you need someone who can handle that personality. So you need to be upfront about that personality, because if you're not, then you're not going to end up finding somebody who's going to be there for all of you. They're just going to be there for the prim and proper version of you that you've shown them. You know what I mean? You gotta
Chat
be
says that I
yourself.
remind every woman of their brother, and that's why I'm going to stay single. So what advice do you have?
No, because you don't remind me of my brother. You remind me of my friend.
Yeah, but I'm like a brother, and
nobody
wants to date their brother, right? Or like brother, their step brother, if you would. Okay,
Zam, give me your best pickup line. How would you flirt with a woman? Give me your line, right? We're gonna do some therapy. What's it called? When you throw them into it? Immersive therapy. Okay, go for it.
Hey, baby, can you give me a peek at your Sarlacc pit?
What would you actually say to a woman if you met someone and you're like, wow, she's really pretty, I want to go say hello? What would you do?
Pardon me, madam. Would you like to do something this fine Saturday evening with a gentleman caller such as myself?
But that's not how you'd start the conversation.
No, I'd ask to see their Sarlacc pit. Yep.
God damn it. No, Zam, I listen. I know that you're just being a goober, okay? But legitimately, goober. I know, a goofy goober. And that's why you go to Weenie Hut Jr. So here's the thing, right? You just and being funny and silly like that, people like that. Do that. But like, you just gotta go up and talk to someone and make conversation, and then you toss in the little things every now and then you hope that they like it and they stick, you know? It's just like people in chat. They've learned to love you in their own special way. Now you just need to find a woman to love you in her own special way.
So my chat loves me because I almost want to say I nag them. I bully them. So what you're saying is I need to bully women.
No. I would say that it's a different type of love, and your chat is just filled with a lot of people who have a degradation kink, which is totally different. You need to find a woman who likes your silliness and who likes your obnoxiousness and who likes your loudness, because that's what I did. I found someone who liked my silliness, my goofiness, my loudness, my obnoxiousness.
How did you find them, though? Like, did you go on a website? Did you just go out on the streets and be like, I am looking for a date. La, la, la. My name is Awkward Monster.
They're all just things that have just kind of happened.
Like, how? Did you step over a crack and then the guy just showed up with an umbrella?
Sharing interests, just talking, and then,
What interest did you share?
Says, hey, you know what? I like you. And then you just start talking, and it just kind of goes on from there. Similar interests are a great place to start.
Okay.
Just like consistency in streaming is a great place to start.
You're basically saying
it's
that
not
I
the
should
whole tomato.
date on Twitch.
No.
That's like my only interest, that and video editing.
It's quite literally the main thing. No, because it's not necessarily you have to date on Twitch. It's like you need to find similar interests. So if video games or streaming or YouTube videos or movies or something that's like in a similar realm,
I don't have time for any of that.
You can make conversation. Yes, you will. You can and you will. It happens. It just happens out of nowhere.
So what you're saying is I need to go play co-op games, and eventually a girl will join my server, and I will smash.
No. I'm saying you just need to get out more.
You know, period. I'm just gonna say that Juice might have had better opinions than you on how to improve my love life.
You're just upset that I'm telling you no.
I'm not upset at all. I'm over here saying that you're coming up with bad ideas because they don't fit with me. Go out where? It's winter. It's negative 10, 15 degrees.
Guess what?
It's snowing.
You don't have to physically go out anywhere.
Oh, so I sit in my house and never go anywhere? That's counter to your advice of go out more.
You do both. You do both.
Oh,
more
my
doesn't
God.
mean you only go out. My goodness gracious.
Where do I go out? Do I go out to the bars? No, because my dad said never meet people at the bar. Where do women go these days?
You find people with similar interests. Sometimes
where do I find people with similar interests?
Sometimes those are friends of friends. Sometimes they're...
I don't have friends anymore.
Sometimes they're people that other people have been like, hey, you're kind of cute. Sometimes they're coworkers. I don't recommend that, but sometimes they are. Sometimes they're people that you meet on the internet while you're playing a game. Sometimes they're people that you meet because of friends on the internet know them and they think that they're great for you.
You don't know anyone.
Sometimes you go and you play video games, and sometimes you go out to dinner and you're like, wow, that girl's really cute and she's there by herself. I'm gonna go and say hello. Sometimes there's just so many different things that can happen. Okay, there's so many different things.
Sometimes is all you're saying.
There is no one way to find someone.
I'm not asking for one way. I was basically asking for your advice, and your advice is bad.
No, my advice is to be yourself.
I'm always myself. At least that's better than you saying hide myself.
No, you need to be yourself. You need to be yourself. You need to find someone with common interests. Boom, done. Nailed it.
Okay. Well, if you're watching this podcast or in chat and want to be Canadian, I got a Canadian for you.
Any of you got any hot Canadian friends for Zam? Anybody? Anybody?
I can't imagine the comments I'll get on YouTube. Hey, I'm from Puerto Rico.
You know what?
I don't know any Canadians.
My friend who's in Canada, he is a friend.
Mm-hmm.
He is a friend. He probably has friends. That's a connection.
Okay. Man.
All of your married friends just have their spouse be like, hey, spouse, do you have someone?
No, because they've been married so long that they don't have friends anymore. Because once you get married, you're not allowed to have friends, apparently.
But they might have coworkers, or they might have family or something. Who knows? I'm just saying these are options. Okay, they're avenues.
Do you even know where the word avenue comes from?
No idea. Did I say the word avenue?
Yeah, they're avenues.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, that was a great conversation.
Favorite thing if you say things and then you immediately forget it.
Yeah. I feel
I didn't realize you said the word avenue. Yeah, they're different options, different avenues. Yeah.
So now I'm going to ask a question that one of the chatters mentioned in like the first episode, and I asked this to every single streamer since then because they thought it was a good question, so I keep asking it, and it's really one chatter said it. Okay. What is the worst thing you ever incorporated with your stream? Could be a channel point redemption, a sound effect, anything at all. What is the worst thing you ever put in your stream?
Like least effective or like just dumb?
Worst thing. So, for example, some people are like, I put a hydrate command on with no cooldown, and everybody redeemed it, and so I had to take the hydrate command away.
I've had many of those things. My husband is someone who will go into a chat and see what doesn't have a cooldown so that he can spam it. He is the biggest troll that I know. Let me think for a moment.
Okay. Because I honestly don't know what you would have potentially done. Because not only have I not been into your stream in a while, I also feel like you maintain a reasonable level of stuff. You didn't add anything that was silly.
Well, yeah, and like these things I've learned over time to like not have, things with no cooldowns and stuff like that. So I can't really. Oh, you know what? I would say probably the worst thing is that I have a 4 biddy alert. That's the I can only count to 4. And then it's Kermit like screaming.
Yeah.
4! Right? I have that as a biddy alert, and there's not a cooldown. So I have that same person who I said you remind me of, who likes to come in and spam that. But now my mix it up is broken so that it doesn't play over and over and over and over. It'll cut off after the first one plays. Luna also does like to play the 4 biddy alert, but I'd say that's probably the worst thing because when it Miss Ma'am, when it did play over and over and over and over itself, it got louder every time it was overlapped. Come here. Come here. Good girl. So,
You have a dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I think that's a fair thing to say that was the worst thing you put on your stream. I would definitely abuse that myself. You're not wrong. I'm very like that other person. Speaking of, do you have combos on your stream?
No, I don't have that. I know that I was one of the. Well, I found out that I was a beta. I was in the beta for the watch streaks because I had watch streaks and everyone else is like, why do you have watch streaks? I'm like, I don't know. Well, it turns out I was apparently in the beta, but I didn't know. And then I guess the combos thing is a special thing that some people have, but not everybody has it. And so I don't have combos at this moment in time. So maybe it's because I had watch streaks early and that's
no, you have to volunteer into the combo system, which I would not recommend in any stretch. But I didn't get watch streaks until they made it for everyone. And I'm a partner. Again, no benefit to being a partner. But combos, I bring that up because they changed the way combos work. I don't know if you saw that. They changed it basically like the TikTok and YouTube where combos have set amounts. And they made them as low as like 1 bit, 5 bits. And so people have been spamming the 5-bit.
I did see the 5-bit one happen in a chat that I was in.
And it's very annoying. I hate it. I hate the combo system. I'm sorry. I hated it when it started in the first place. I never liked it because I thought it was changed my mind. I don't like to say cringe very often, but the combos were so cringe. The laughing horse emote. When has a horse laughing ever been anybody's brand?
I have no idea. I don't know.
When does it look? It looks like AI slop, if you were to ask me. I'm sorry if somebody actually drew that, but it looks not good.
I've only seen the little thing at the bottom of your screen and then the little thing that pops up in the chat. I've never seen anything pop up on the screen for it.
It does, but it's very quick, usually.
Maybe I've just missed it, but I've never seen it pop up on
the
screen.
It also doesn't do sounds where the horse would pop up and go ha 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 and disappear. It's kind of like how people have emotes that splash onto the screen, but it's bigger and on the Twitch. I don't know if it's on mobile.
Oh.
Twitch mobile sucks.
Interesting. Yeah. Twitch mobile's always been a problem.
Yeah. But I feel like all the other websites all still have the same problem.
That's something I want to know. What Underling just said. How do you feel about the new thing where like just a lot of chatters chatting can start a hype train?
I don't know how I feel about that one because it's only ever happened like once or twice to me because chat doesn't just spike in activity. The one time it did, it was very awkward because I was self-conscious. Every time my chat goes silent, I immediately get in my head and I'm like, I'm the most boring person in the world. How do I get out of this? How do I get people to talk more? And so I made a controversial comment to try and spark chat. As I do, I put my foot in my mouth and pull something out of my pocket. And everybody started talking about it. And then we went on a hype train. And I went, this is the most gross feeling thing in the world because I went from a dead chat to a hype train. It was not a good feel. However, there's times where it has been good because the chat was flowing and out of nowhere a train starts and I could build hype off of that. But overall, I think that it's greedy from Twitch and I prefer you start a hype train.
I feel like it's awkward because it's like people are chatting and then they're like, oh, a hype train started. Like now I feel like I have to like
I never
with
put
it or
emphasis
something.
on a hype train because I'm not here to make money. This isn't my full-time
No, I mean,
job.
it's like as a viewer, like sometimes it's like, well, now I feel like I need to give something because this has started now because
the hype train and the FOMOs. I get it.
Yeah.
Here's where I feel like a backstabber or a sneaky filter here on that one is if you, I don't know, as partners, do you get the gift sub discount?
I don't. Oh yeah, I can use it for. I think it says that you can use 72 hours worth of the however much percent off. Yeah,
it's the same thing. So I gave feedback on that because I used it during ZamCon and I had a couple good key points of that. So I gave feedback and everybody loved it in the partner Discord, which is a separate thing. By the way, spoiler alert, we talk about partner things there.
Yeah, no, I know that exists because I have friends that are partners now who actually tell you that these things exist and are willing to talk about this stuff.
I feel like every partner wants to talk about because there's no non-disclosure agreement. Anyways, I gave them the feedback that during those sales, it felt really bad that the sale just ended out of nowhere. Sure, I was streaming 100 hours. So my problem was I would start for 8 hours and then 8 hours would go by and I'd be like, I don't know that it's not going or not. There's no boo-doo-doo, boo-ba-doo-ba-doo. It's over. It just ends. And that's unsanctimonious. And so the only time it was super effective is when I was watching it and I saw like the 5 minute left on the sale and I was able to be like, hey, you guys, there's 5 minutes left. Get your discounts in now before they end. And I made the comment and Twitch really loved it. And I feel like this is going to come back to kill the community, but I also think it's a good idea. So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing yet. I suggested an auto hype train that starts at the 5 minute remaining.
Oh, at the end? I mean, I think that makes sense.
That way, it not only tells you that your sale is ending, it also is like, this is your last minute to build hype for the sale. And I feel like that is a decent idea.
Yeah.
Because then you can you have 5 minutes to make this hype train even better, and then it ends. And then it ends, and you can build the hype off of it. And Twitch liked the idea. I hope they put it into practice. My concern, and I made a point of this, was offline. I ended streams very often when those sales are still going. And so it ends offline, and an offline hype train is a bit about a bot situation, which is why you can get banned if you donate bits and subs after the person's turned off their stream. So I don't know. I hope they put it in place. I don't know if you have any opinion on a last minute hype train there, but like if nobody's donating or anything,
I agree that
I think
the
it's
offline
fine.
would be kind of unfortunate.
I'm sure they can make a simple code check. Is stream live? Yes, no.
Yeah. But I think that sounds like a great idea.
I feel like it's the same sort of thing where it's like based off of the text. It's not like somebody's giving hype at that moment. But I feel like it is a hypeable moment. Unlike people
it's a way to
typing in chat.
kickstart it. Yeah. Because sometimes it's like, oh, we're literally having a conversation about ass. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's a hype train. It's like,
Twitch loves ass. Let's go. Ass hype train. Who's going to be the caboose of the last one on?
Got him.
That's what I would like to call improv, by the way.
Look at him go. He's like a professional. Not only is he a professional streamer, professional podcast host, also a professional improv.
Well, I wouldn't say professional. I would say I'd love to do like an improv stand-up show. Frankly, I think that's every stream to me, first off. Second off, I feel like I'm quick-witted enough to be able to make a lot of situations more funny. I don't know. I kind of
I
pride
agree.
myself on that. I
You're very quick-witted. I would agree with that.
thank you. I will
You're
take
welcome.
that compliment and I will put it
I
in
mean
my
it in a good way.
compliment
I don't mean
bank.
it in a bad way.
Well, of course not, but I'm going to take that compliment all the way to the bank and it's going to be great. I will withdraw it on a rainy day when I have sad boy moment. And I will be like, do you guys remember November 27th at exactly 9:48 p.m. Mountain Time that Awkward Monsters said I was funny, quick-witted,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then I will no
10
longer
out
be
of 10.
sad.
Yep. That's how that works. It's true.
Okay. Well,
And if you
unfortunately,
keep it in there longer, you're investing more into that. And so then when you
and
bring
I
it out,
get the
it's even more
compound
special.
interest.
Yeah. And it's even more special in that moment.
Well, unfortunately, that's all the subjects that I can remember. I left my notes at work, unfortunately, so I don't remember if there was anything
No, that's
else.
okay. I feel like we've had good conversation.
Well, naturally, I feel like I don't have bad conversations unless the person just prattles on about something that is incredibly boring. Like if you were to start talking about accounting, I would fall asleep and chat would fall asleep.
I really thought you were going to take this opportunity to be like, if someone started talking about Paleo or something that they were playing and it was really stupid. Like I thought you were going to take this as an opportunity to kind of
No. So there's some people in chat
anything
right
that I
now
rambled about.
that love Paleo, and they play it and they're addicted to it as well. And I don't want to insult those people. So
Which,
I
by the
I
way,
would
there is
never.
plushie hunting, and that's another thing that really gets me because it gives you purpose to just do the same thing over and over again. Anyways, okay, sorry.
The fuck do you mean plushie hunting?
There's plushies and they're drops. So like every time you kill something, you don't get the plushie for that, but you can get a rare drop of getting a plushie because you killed so many of that thing, or because you've caught so many bugs, or because you've fished up so many of that fish. Like there's so many, and then there's a mini game called Hot Pot, and then there's a wheel of prizes, and who doesn't love gambling? Um, and there's a mystery little gumball machine of prizes too. And so there's so many fun little things. Who doesn't love a game of chance?
You know, I usually end these podcasts with saying, hey, do you have any topics that you wanted to talk about? But I feel like I'm going to skip that because I don't want to talk about Palia. This doesn't make sense.
I wouldn't want to talk about Paleo anyways, so that's okay. I wouldn't want to have to drag you through that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip that whole segment so that I don't have to go down that. That was the worst. That was the worst part of our conversation tonight. Oh, you can get stuff plushies that you can get from killing things, but not killing them. And then if you kill them really good too many times, they'll give you a plushie, but not always. Sometimes you can play a different game, and then it'll give you a wheel spin, and you can get a plushie. And I don't tell you what we do with these plushies or anything. You can just get them, but sometimes you can't.
Just
what is that?
And you can trade them with people. Decorations. What do you mean? You decorate your house. I know. Tell him. Tell him.
Don't tell me.
The dog's barking, so I'm like, she's trying to tell you the same thing. Tell him. Tell him. The other day, I said, "Can I get an oh whoa?" And then she barked when I said, "Can I get an oh whoa?" So she officially is an oh whoa dog. Anyways. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, Sam. Thank you so much for having me. Having me. I need you to remember that I have ADHD. And so my one sentence is 50 brain thoughts compiled into one, and I can keep on yapping. I am a professional yapper.
You wanted my best pickup line?
Yes. This is something about me needing to shut up.
I heard that you have ADHD. Would you like to add another D to it? I have that's my dick.
If you didn't explain it, that would have been a 10 out of 10.
Single forever? Chat, no.
Chat, no.
Okay.
Don't worry. He'll find the one.
Apparently, I don't have the best pickup lines.
Who has a vitamin D deficiency. It'll be fine.
Fair enough. Well, I'm going to let you go, Awkward. It was a great time talking to you. Before I do click the goodbye button, I love that you're waving. You're going to be waving for a while because I'm going to ask the other question I always ask to end. Do you have anything coming up on your stream that you want to shout out? Any big streams, charity streams, birthday streams? Are you doing anything for a Christmas holiday stream?
My birthday is in December, so I'm going to be doing a birthday stream. I don't know what day yet, but I'll be posting it in the places. But in December, there will be a birthday bonanza of some kind. I don't know what we're going to theme it yet. That's the other thing. We always try to have a theme for birthdays. So we've got to come up with birthday theme and then birthday. Do you have a theme recommendation for birthday?
What do you
Like a
mean
birthday
by
party?
birthday theme?
So like a theme. So like one year we had like a pajama party. So like I wore pajamas and like had decorations that were like night skies with stars. One year I had my birthday theme was monsters. So I had like a little monster birthday sign in the background. We played pin the eye on the monster. Like, you know, like a birthday party theme. But instead it's a birthday stream theme.
I don't celebrate my birthday, so I feel like I'm the worst
I
person.
don't either. This is how I celebrate my birthday because I don't get to celebrate my birthday.
But I'm reaching into my most creative spot of my brain right now. Are you ready
Mhm.
for this idea?
Don't say Christmas or I will murder.
No. Months. Make it a theme about months. You could even go for like the Greek months where you become like Augustus Caesar, that sort of stuff. You know, you could do it about months, April or May. You could have it so that people have to like be seasonal or something and be like,
Okay.
oh, I like spring, so I'll put a spring in your clocks and rewind. No, that's stupid. That was a bad.
Okay. I've gotten some ideas from what you've just said, which is just
Okay.
as important as you giving a good idea.
I'm the best at being creative and coming up with ideas. That's one of the best things
I love
about me
that.
for being a streamer.
I love that. 10 out of 10.
Why would I say mumps again? I never said mumps. When I said months.
Months. Months. Month is the.
Okay,
Is there any
well,
words that you think you say weird? Hold on. We have to go
no.
through this really quick.
I don't have
No?
an accent aigu.
Well, I mean like one that you actually say weird though.
I don't have an accent. Everything I say is perfectly normal. There
I'm
are
not
some
talking about
times
your
that I
accent.
mispronunciate things on purpose so that if I ever do mispronunciate, you never know.
So it's
You're
like
always in
Wicked, where they say
suspicion.
the wrong words, but it's meant to be.
You never know, because I say things wrong all the time, and it's cringy to some people, but I do it as a self-defense mechanism. It's kind of like, you know, drunken fist. Am I actually drunk, or am I just really good at fighting? Subterfuge. Why do you tap the forward part of your head? You know it's supposed to be the temple, right?
Yeah, but my headphones are in the way.
You know you can get
I
bone
hit my
conducting
headphones.
earphones, right?
I hit my headphones when I do this, so.
You're a special lady.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing you ever said about me, Zam. I also still sing your intro song all the time. I just want you to know that. Okay. Anyways.
Okay. Fair enough. Well,
Why
thank
do
you
you
for.
always bully me?
I
Sam,
don't
Sam.
bully anyone.
I do not like when you're mean to me. Sam, Sam.
Do you know that Denakai made and wrote that song and he's in chat and he also made a second one that he hates?
Yeah, I'm so happy.
What about a diseased themed birthday? Chat got really into me saying mumps.
The plague. Chat has the plague.
Chat is the plague. And you have to
Hear me
cure
out.
them.
You make it like werewolf, but instead of werewolf, it's like someone has the plague. So if someone, like you give one person in chat a keyword and they say that word, if anyone else says that word throughout the stream, they then also have the plague. Okay, anyways, sorry.
Anyways, thanks for being on here. Guys, that's Awkward Monsters. Go check her out. All the things are underneath. It'll be in the links. You guys know what's up. Awkward, thanks for being here. Have a good
Thank you
night.
for having me.
I'm going to make it awkward. I love you. Goodbye.
I love you. Goodbye.